Welcome back to Norstead Point, one and all. It's good to have everyone back to our heavy metal seaside dark fantasy. We've got the wonderful Eddie playing Dr. Victor Mutare, the lovely Savannah playing Buttercup Lee, our rugged healer, and none other than Matt playing our wonderful Bruce Fantana. Now, last session we had a bit of a session, if I must say. You all very nearly died under in the coral reef as you tried to venture towards the ship graveyard. Bit of a tangle with these massive house-size sea snails. And amidst all the chaos... I'm sorry? The bit? Oh, the bit. Yeah, a little bit of trouble. And... Bruce very nearly got swallowed up by them foul beasts. But luckily for you, the two mer ladies, Viola and Ashta, swam in to save your bacon. Only for Viola to get her own bacon trashed by these giant snails and very nearly died herself before Bruce sort of saved the day and jumped straight up into the water. You all safely managed to get out of there. Oh shit, I forgot the bits. If you guys want to catch more of our D&D nonsense, please check out Eddie and I on the Ad Proficiency podcast. You can find us on Spotify as well as on SoundCloud and iTunes. And if you haven't checked out Real Mana Has Curves with our wonderful Phil Finkel, please feel free to do so. He's an inspiration to us all. Curves. Real Mana Has Curves.
Yes.
So welcome back, everybody. So yeah, last session you all very nearly died. I believe we have a boat made now. The Pale Invaders tried to capture the two Merfolk priestesses, but you guys were like, that's not happening, and you very narrowly managed to save them. Am I forgetting any other details? That was pretty much it. It was very much like, let's try and get to the center of this place situation.
Bruce jumping and, like, I'm just going to kick this shell and making everything wake up.
Yes. The stealth encounter stopped being a stealth encounter and became a fight for your lives encounter, which is A-okay.
But I did, at the end, cheese
That's
all
right,
of
you
the
don't play video
snails, and
games.
they all died.
Yes. Before you left, Cesarthic had actually loaded up all those shells and just safely sniped them to death from a distance, filling the water with blood and the smell of death. But you all managed to get out of there. It is now the night of. Viola is barely alive, and you guys are now safely back in your beloved cave. Yes. Okay. It's the night of. I'm assuming you guys are resting, but maybe I shouldn't. What would you all like to do for the evening?
I mean, I'm actually kind of fine, so I'm probably going to work on some projects, and I didn't take any damage.
That's true.
I'll make sure Viola's wounds are fully
okay.
healed, and do my make sure she's taken care of.
Now, as you guys are taking care of Viola, you will see she is actually very severely wounded. She has, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say a vicious slash, kind of upper side.
Yeah. I'm actually going to use a couple of my healing spells for Viola.
A couple of your healing spells? Okay.
Yeah, I'll use one of my prepared potions and then one of my spell slots.
Okay. All right. How much will that heal her for?
Should be. Do I not have it on here? I guess I don't. Let me see. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. Anybody else? What are y'all doing for the evening?
Oh, Buttercup, you go first. Bruce is gonna be involved.
What she's doing, she's helping Victor with Viola and making sure that he has the bandages and salves and stuff that he needs, and checking on Astra. And then after that, she's gonna go to the back part of the cave and like strip herself to go over her body and start working on healing, so she can healing herself, so she can pass the fuck out for the night.
That's gonna be my two rolls for Wyola. So
Wow.
15.
That's actually pretty hefty. Okay. So you are going to patch her up for 15. Now, Ashta is primarily going to be concerned with patching up Wyola, and I do want to point out that even though Bruce has taken some healing, Bruce, you are covered with wounds. You have had a pretty hard time yourself. And Buttercup, so have you. If I'm not mistaken, you were in serious danger as well, correct?
Yeah, I nearly before the snail thing, I think I almost died because of like the crab things, like yeah, tossing her around and stuff.
Okay. Okay. All right. So everyone's just kind of checking themselves for the night, making sure they're all good to go. Is that right?
Nope, not at all.
What are you doing?
Bruce is gonna have a meltdown. So,
Uh-oh.
Bruce, I'm sure you guys can probably see he just looks distraught. He's not okay. He's just kind of like rocking back and forth and just like staring at the ground. And then he looks up at Wyola and Ashta. And he walks over there and he sees you healing her, Victor. And he just kind of like nods at you, but like in this weird, like unconfident way. And then he walks over to Wyola and he hugs her. And then
Okay. Now, again, Wyola is very seriously injured.
he does it gently.
Even with Victor healing.
It's like
and
tap
Ashta.
on the bat, just like
she's very weak. She sort of like, rests a hand on your forearm, kind of acknowledging that you're there, and Ashta kind of looks over at you with concern. But there's this kind of like unspoken bond between the three of you, as the two of them had like sort of risked their lives to try and wrench you out of the grip of those snails.
To be honest, I don't know how to write my character image the right way, so I'm just kind of.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna continue doing some extended medical care on Wyola. Would you like me to make a medicine check for that?
It's okay. We'll just say like you continue to heal for the rest of the night. Cool. You are going to note that Bruce is like having a moment with the two of these mer ladies here.
I don't keep quiet. I kind of keep quiet, but I'm just Mr. Fantana. Are you okay?
Victor, it would mean a lot to me if you just call me Bruce. I'm no Mr. Fantana. There's only one Mr. Fantana, and he's gone.
Is that your dad, or is that you? I don't.
This is kind of the first little chuckle you see out of Victor the entire time. Like the most expression of mirth that he's had pretty much ever since you've seen him. He kind of just looks at you a little bit and Mr. Fantana, you have been heroic the entire time. Nothing has changed. I know that you nearly met your death today, but he kind of pauses for a minute and looks over to Ashta and Wyola before looking back at Bruce. You have all survived something truly harrowing, shall we say, and I believe you will come out the stronger for this at the end of it. And I kind of look at him for a moment and just go back to tending to the wounds, to Wyola's wounds.
Before Victor can walk away, Bruce kind of, he's kind of says, "Hey, dog, I got a weird question. You know about like biology, right?"
You can say that, yes. What do you need? What question do you have?
Listen, man. What are the odds that, if a man loves a fish, they can, like, make a little Fantana?
Are y'all having this conversation like right in front of the girls?
They can't hear.
They can't understand you.
They don't
But
know what I'm saying.
Buttercup can understand you. She's right behind you, Bruce.
Does Buttercup say anything? Is Buttercup just like watching in awe, or is
I
Buttercup?
assume Buttercup kind of just like creeped up there
Yeah,
the
she
way
did.
she does.
Is Buttercup like, what the fuck?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, she's all what the fuck. She's just in her breastband, so you can see like her arms and her midriff. Wherever there was an attack from the last session, she's kind of patched up. But for the stuff around the patches, you can see that pretty much her entire body is just littered with scars. And she's like, well, that's awkward.
Would I?
Should he roll? What would he
Would I?
roll for
Yeah,
that?
right. Would I roll that knowledge nature?
What would he roll to know
You
if
know what?
Bruce Fantana can impregnate a fish?
You know what?
What's the roll for that? Hey guys,
Just tell me, Eddie. Just tell me, Eddie.
hey guys, if you want to know how to do a ruling about whether or not somebody knows about whether or not you can impregnate a fish, lady, check out Ad Proficiency. Sorry, go ahead.
Can it be done? Let's find out.
Let's find. Stay tuned.
How do you feel about that, Doctor?
The victor kind of thinks for a moment and just looks at Wyola, like at Ashta and Bruce, and just the biology is mostly compatible. I'm not sure exactly what would.
I mean, I can figure that part
He
out.
seems to get kind of flustered a little bit, like again for the first time. Like he kind of turns a deep shade of red as he's kind of talking about this, and doesn't seem to want to get into the intimate details. He's like, I imagine that the parts will line up. He keeps like he is super awkward about this.
Can you make me an instruction manual, Doc? Maybe I need, like, can you write a book? I've seen you write things. Lots of pictures, please.
Just at the mention of pictures, he just turns beet red. And very well, Mr. Fantana, I will do my best.
It's Bruce. Call me Bruce. You see, Doc, I'm the last Fantana, and nearly dying just reminds me that if I die, there are no more Fantanas.
How you feel about that, Doctor?
The family thing, it definitely tugs at him because of his past. So he just kind of gets quiet for a minute. He's like, I certainly understand the desire to further your name and further your family.
You better not mean the desire for my fish girlfriend, because she's mine. You've got, there's the other one.
He just kind of waves that off and just, no, I had a family, a wife and child.
You said had.
I was forced to leave. I was forced to flee my home because of what I am and what I can do. Because of Braxis in particular.
Are they alive? Are they okay?
They're, as far as I know, currently they are fine. They were not implicated in my actions. He just kind of seems to get far off for a minute and kind of checks Wyola real quick for a moment before just kind of wandering off, trailing off, just kind of leaving that.
At this moment, before you walk over here,
Mm-hmm.
As you are talking to Bruce, and Buttercup, you're behind Bruce, Bruce's eyes are suddenly going to roll into his head, and his veins along his temples are going to snake upwards into his forehead like black, and
Okay.
like down his neck, and he passes out backwards onto the ground for a moment. And then after another moment, he is going to stand back up. And in a voice that isn't quite his, he's going to say to the Merfolk women, "Sei müssen mit uns kommen, Hills gibt's in kein Wohl. Wir arbeiten zum Wohl allgemein zu starmen und werden uns jetzt zu tragen." And then he's going to pass out again.
He
Mr.
randomly
Fantana
turns
seems to
German.
be speaking tongues.
It's the same vocal cords. You should have just done this voice.
And when Bruce passes out this time, he is going to begin convulsing violently on the ground in a cold sweat.
I'm going to run up to him and see what I can do about stopping said thing. Medicine
Go
check?
ahead and roll me a medicine check.
Buttercup's gonna do the same.
Go ahead and roll it at advantage then. Whoever wants to make the roll. I don't know how I feel about rolling at advantage for helping. I feel like you should both roll once, and that's the advantage.
I've seen that every now and then. Matthew Mercer's done that.
That makes more sense to me for a lot of reasons.
Previous editions, it added a flat modifier for helping. Like, it was a +2 or +3 or whatever.
20 is pretty good. We'll go ahead and take that 20. So, Victor.
Yeah.
Assessing Bruce here, Bruce's symptoms have suddenly worsened very dramatically. Ashta's singing before had sort of kept it at bay, like the veins had sort of receded into his flesh. But all of a sudden, he has gone from like stage 1 to like stage 4, like that. And he's in like full like sweating saltwater mode now, like down his face. These veins are like black, and they're beginning to snake from his neck like down his shoulders. And at this, Ashta, who's kind of like prioritizing Viola and like trying to take care of her, is suddenly like, actually, both of you roll me a perception or insight check real quick.
Me?
Okay. No, me and Buttercup.
I was about to say, what am I going to perceive?
Mine ain't do shit.
Okay.
I didn't get it.
Okay. Buttercup, you've seen like parents do this before when their kids suddenly become violently ill and like they're in shock, and Ashta's kind of like blinking and like kind of reeling from this thing that Bruce just said to her that you guys don't understand.
Yeah.
And like she hasn't made a move to help him yet because she's like in such shock at what was said.
Can I? I'm gonna take the last dose of the orange liquid off of Bruce and go ahead and pour it into his mouth.
I wasn't gonna be meta or say anything, but yeah, it's there.
I knew you had it. I knew you had it. I was waiting for Hunter to finish.
Well, that brings up actually a good question. So did Victor and Buttercup take some of that medication or no?
We never needed to.
I don't think I ever had to.
The rest of it was disseminated among the populace, so they're all
used it on the populace, which left you with 2 remaining doses, and you guys aced an investigation check to piece together Viola and seal the gaps as you like patched her back together.
So basically,
you're wanting to use your last dose of the cure-all on Bruce Fantana?
Yes, I am.
It's a good fucking plan.
I'm gonna do it.
All right.
I'm an advocate of this plan.
Scratch it off your list forever. It's gone now.
Till we go fuck with that bird again.
Okay. Let's see what happens.
It doesn't take long before Bruce's eyes snap back open. And Bruce, you find yourself laying on the cold cave floor with both Victor and Buttercup looking over you with concern. You don't know how you got here. Last thing you remember is talking to Victor about Fantana babies.
Yeah, but for real though, can I can are you gonna make me a book?
Mr. Fantana, you've just collapsed, and you seem to have said something that when I say we, I kind of indicate Buttercup, that we did not understand. Would you ask Ashta about what you just said? And I kind of hold up the vial that had the orange liquid in it and show him that I just basically gave it to him.
Yes, Hunter.
Do I know that he can talk to Ashta?
Yeah, I assume so. I mean, you guys have seen him like talk back and forth to Ashta before.
Okay.
Bruce is just gonna take the vial from you and just kind of like look at it. I'm not heroic, Doc. I couldn't even save myself.
Mr. Fantana, you seem to have been experiencing an influence of something very powerful that we will shortly have to deal with. So I need you in your top condition.
Well,
He kind of stops for a minute and just like looks at you for a moment. You're still the same man that went down into the waters beforehand. You've simply taken more injuries and come out the other side stronger. You should. He kind of thinks for a minute just so he doesn't say something like super indelicate, and is like, we should take the fight to these people and find what they want. These creatures of the deep.
If you want me on my top condition, call me Bruce.
Buttercup kind of sits next to Bruce and like nudges him with her shoulder, and she's like, "Don't forget, you had two lovely ladies on your arms that you rescued yourself."
One of which is in critical condition but getting better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buttercup.
I'll be doing continued medical care overnight, but
Buttercup.
So that's another thing. Sorry, go on.
Buttercup, you're more of a hero than me. You saved me and my weird fish girlfriend and her weird fish girlfriend.
At that, she gets a little confused. She's like, huh? And she has no idea because she doesn't equate what she did to get the snails off of you so they would stop like pulverizing you for enough for the two fish people to be able to grab you.
When you gave me that potion that I gave you, it was definitely full circle, but kind of poetic, I guess. Thank you.
She goes, all that, and it gently nudges his shoulder again. You forget, you're my brother now.
I really hurt a
What
lot.
I gotta do.
Please don't nudge me anymore. I hurt so much.
She snickers a little bit.
So much. Inside and out. Kind of in my head. I've got like a migraine. I think I maybe pulled my Achilles. I don't even know what that is, but I think I did
it. She chuckles. And then real quick, out of character. She still has those large pieces of moss, right? From the wall from that the cave they're in?
I don't think you've used them. And I do want to point out that I probably should have said this before, but once you use that salve on Bruce, Bruce's wounds would actually close.
Like he's completely healed, right?
It's like a sensu being, yeah. He's feeling.
Yeah.
I take back everything I said. Thank you for the nudge. That was a great nudge. Kind of felt warm.
It tickled a little bit, right?
God
well,
damn it.
you know, Bruce, like you were feeling it before you passed out, and like maybe you just haven't quite taken note of the fact that like it stopped. You know, as soon as you opened your eyes again.
Oh wow! I gotta apologize, Buttercup. I really thought that would hurt a lot, but I guess it didn't. So I'm sorry. It's not often that I admit pain to people. But yeah, thank you to you as well, Victor. He goes over to Asha, picks himself up, and he just gives Asha a big hug. What does Asha do?
Ashta is a little bit in shock. She saw you suddenly like freak out and like say these things to her, and then pass back out, and then the other two humans sort of like loom over you and like force feed you this goop. It's goop. And then your
Cool,
wounds all
thanks.
sort of closed, and you woke back up, and you're good to go. Now, I did want to point out that all of you guys noticed last session, and I think y'all might have noticed before outside the ice, that this is now the second time these Pale Invaders have almost desperately tried to capture these priestesses.
Yeah.
Y'all feel any kind of way about that?
I mean, we've stopped them from capturing them twice. I'm irritated that they keep trying to just take us instead of talking to us, but and as I've said as much to one of the Pale Invaders that left without fighting last time. So
I think you in particular, if I'm not mistaken, had noted a sense of desperation.
yeah, I did, and again, I was able to communicate with one of them. I believe last time I left one of them alive and told him that we would be willing to go to where they are if we had the means, and that's basically what I was getting at to them. Not, I'm like, we're not gonna allow. I'm not gonna. I basically conveyed that I wasn't gonna allow us to be taken against our will. We would all go as a unit.
Right, right.
Does Bruce have an insight onto how you feel about this, Victor?
Um,
Probably not.
I don't know. I haven't really said as much,
Yeah.
but
Well,
because
then,
everything I talked about to those Pale Invaders was in deep speech.
yeah.
So I do kind of. I mean, since you brought that up, I can go ahead and mention. So yeah, Victor is kind of thinking for a minute, and he looks between the three merladies and Bruce before saying, I spoke with one of the Pale Invaders. I told them we would not be taken. However, I did say we would be willing to help if they were a little more amenable. And he tries to, I guess he's trying to find the right words to basically, he's like trying to let them know he tried to get help for all of them at the same time because we're all right. So I don't know why I'm slipping out of character so bad. Sorry. Victor kind of looked at Bruce for a minute and said, I plan to dispose of this great avian and take back what I gave him for our gift.
We gotta go, Doc. We gotta just leave town. We gotta take the fish girls with us. I can't die here. We gotta go. We gotta leave. We can't.
That's when Buttercup puts her hand on Bruce's shoulder and she's like, Bruce, I need you to take a couple of deep breaths. We're gonna figure this out, and everything's gonna be okay.
That's how he breathes hard. Guys, I know that I told you a little bit about what I've been through, but I can't die here. There's someone I have to kill, and I thought I was gonna come here and kill a shark and maybe make a baby. And none of those things have happened except for the killing the shark. Baking the baby hasn't happened. But guys, I can't die here. There's somebody I have to kill him with my own bare hands.
That's when Buttercup stands up and goes to one of the tables that I'm pretty sure is just like covered with some of their things and starts like scrounging through it until she finds a flask. And then she's gonna go and give said booze to Bruce and be like, here, have a few giant swigs of this.
I don't want that.
And
the only thing I want
then,
is the blood of my enemies on my hand.
she pats him on his head. She's like, it's okay,
We
just
got it.
pretend.
You guys don't understand. I'm the only one that can take him down. He killed my father. I can't die here, guys. I gotta kill this dude.
You're not gonna die here. You had a moment where you are feeling extreme panic and fear, and that is normal. Remember, you're human. It's okay.
Yo, do you guys know what Bruce is talking about when y'all
We
say
have no
someone?
idea. By the way, Amy loves Bruce, just so you know.
Aw, thanks, Amy.
Everyone loves Bruce.
We all love.
It's hard not to love Bruce.
We love all these characters and the DM. So whenever Bruce had that little thing that gave his little backstory, he mentioned that his father was killed by a thug of sorts, and that his mission in life is to. Could I get an eagle, please? His mission in life is to kill the man who killed his father. And he's torn right now because he nearly died. He almost actually died as a human being and as a character. So Bruce is just kind of like haunted and looking in the distance. I have to kill him. You don't understand.
Mr. Fantana.
Bruce.
Bruce.
Call me Bruce.
Literally the first time I referred to you as Bruce the entire game. Because you're having a mental breakdown.
A little bit.
Is it really the first time?
It's
It's literally the first time.
It's 2020. It's been a weird
Holy
year.
shit.
Bruce, I will help you achieve this. However, we must help these people first.
You don't understand. He's out there killing more fathers than just mine. We have to go. Let me tell you the story. Let me just tell you the goddamn story, and then maybe you'll understand. My father was an adventurer. He was a tinker. He built things. He built me with his seed and other things. And so many other things too, but there was this guy who tricked him. He made him think that he was a good dude, and he said that he was a guard from a city that doesn't exist. And then took him to a cave.
Oh my god!
And killed him with a bunch of thugs. It was a trap. And then he went, "Hey,
Oh my god!
I gotta kill him."
No fucking way.
Two sides of one coin.
Victor, very confused. Just the man said, "A."
He said, "Hey."
Holy shit.
Yeah, if I had died
By the
last
way,
week, I
I
couldn't
love-
tell
I
you
love
guys that.
I love that you.
Bruce is Paz's son?
No, Paz killed Bruce's father. I've been sitting on that.
No way!
I've been sitting on that since week 2, guys.
That's so amazing.
Almost
I love
died,
it.
so I was like,
Oh
I better just say it before I die.
Put it
Oh
in
my
Hunter's
God.
game. It's all Hunter's
It's
game.
canon now.
Yes.
Join us next
Holy
campaign.
shit.
Stay tuned, folks. Yeah,
Wow.
Bruce lays that on you.
Oh.
Hey.
Hey. Bruce. I mean, this might be a weird time to point this out, but something you had noticed in particular last session during your comprehend languages spell was that those sharks were supposed to be city guardians for a city that
That's right.
you don't recognize anymore.
Oh, speaking
Or
of which,
isn't around.
Well, I guess one of you guys probably needs to talk him down a little bit before he's willing to do comprehend languages as a ritual.
Well, I mean, you could do it just kind of to speak to them, but you'd have to use a spell slot, unfortunately.
Amount of slots.
Oh, boo.
At this time, Buttercup is getting 2 pieces of the large moss that she has to pass to Victor, and quickly explains that she used this to make some of her healing potions, and that they were pretty good. So that way, since he's working overnight with Wyola, he has another thing that he could possibly try.
Would you let me make an alchemy, or I guess a herbalism kit check with that? To
To
try
do
and
what?
make better, to refine the moss to make a better potion.
Yeah, I believe Buttercup had already created a potion, right?
I think
You're
she still
just
has
trying
raw
to
moss.
refine it.
She still has raw moss, and I'm trying to refine the moss into a better healing potion.
Yeah, because she had 4 pieces of large moss, and she used one of the pieces to like she kind of like sliced it up to make multiple vials.
I do remember that. I'll say if you want to use an herbalism kit check, you
Okay.
could create those potions.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to use an alchemy kit check, you could soup up those potions.
Cool. So herbalism first, then alchemy.
So if she wants to like let you work on one of those potions, I'll let you roll to soup it up into something better than what it is. But if you're trying to process it into a potion, she's already got the expertise to take that first step herself.
Yeah. I mean, I just want to refine it even more. So I'm.
Okay. Do you have any of those herbalism potions?
I have. I mean, I'm an herbalist kid. I have all the goodness.
Oh, I mean Buttercup. How many of those moss potions do you still have?
Oh, out of the moss potion, so she has one more piece of large like moss left. I don't know how much is left at that wall, but she's giving 2 of those large pieces of moss to Victor.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, let me make sure that
These
no,
pieces
that's
of
not
moss.
right.
You're talking about the potions that you refined from that moss, correct?
Yeah, the ones that I have refined personally
Do you
as
remember?
Buttercup.
Do you remember how much it heals for?
Sorry, my bad. That's the roll.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Nope.
The math
Nope.
wasn't right on the first one.
Oh shit.
I think I rolled for it, honestly.
I think you rolled for it too.
I think I rolled for it and like got a pretty large like.
I know you made a soup that you like. I think nat 20'd, and that soup was like good shit.
Yeah, that was the
Yeah,
shark.
that one.
Yeah.
Shark fin soup.
The shark, yeah, the shark fin soup. I think you had also made these potions, which I think we had said were like okay-ish, but I don't quite recall. I want to say like a D8 plus 4, maybe. Do you know? I guess not, huh?
Not at all. We have
All right.
Curdler.
Would you like to work on converting for Victor? Would you like to work on converting the moss into a potion, or would
Yes.
you like to soup
I
up
will.
one of the potions that she has into something better?
So I guess that's what the herbalism kit would be.
Or would you like to work on your climbing kit project?
That's it. Oh man.
How many successes do you have on that? Have you been keeping track?
Yeah, we have 3. I had 1 and then 2 with Bruce last time, I believe.
Okay, 3 successes so far.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right. What would you like
Actually, yeah. Let's go ahead and work on the. Let's work on the climbing gear. Actually, I'll do that.
Okay, go ahead and make me that tinkering roll.
Yes, sir.
All right. Anything else you guys want to do for the evening before we start off fresh the next day?
Cry.
Wait, I'm confused. So you're not doing the healing?
No, I'm gonna hold off on refining the things just now, so we can finish our climbing tools. I don't know if my roll will do that I just did. I'm gonna hold off on refining the herbs though, for now.
Okay,
Versus
because
understanding.
Buttercup doesn't have any more potions on her.
I know.
Okay.
I will work on that in the morning, basically.
I guess Bruce could do the ritual
Okay.
and do comprehend languages. He can do that in the morning. They're all tired.
Yeah. I feel it's like I do feel that you should speak to Ashta about what was said while you were unconscious, shall we say.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to hear Ashta speak.
Me neither.
Yeah, I think Bruce is just really tired. He doesn't feel like doing the ritual. He's just gonna crash out and probably do it in the morning.
Okay.
Okay. So everybody goes to Betty Bye. Good night, all of you. Fast forward, boop, it's the next morning. Good morning. what would you all
Yay.
like to do today?
So
Viola is conscious.
she looking better as far as
Yep, she
Yes,
is
HP.
recovering from her wounds. It's coming along, but she's still pretty hurt. And
Okay.
and more than hurt, both of the girls are scared to like
Yeah.
leave this ice because they're like, we don't want to fuck with that again.
All right, just a quick question: would that be considered a long rest? So therefore, Buttercup gets more
It's
of
a
her
long
health
rest.
back.
Mm-hmm. It's all night long. You guys recover overnight.
Bruce is gonna do the ritual.
Okay. All right, Bruce. You do the ritual.
Now,
What would you like to do?
Don't worry, I've got you nice and big on the stream.
I can't look at the camera while I say this. Or I can't look at myself while I say this, I should say.
Bruce does the ritual. I assume because we made it to where Ashta was the one that taught him. She probably understands that he's doing the comprehend languages ritual, perhaps. Okay.
Yeah, she taught it to you. Yeah.
Okay. So she knows how to do it, and she hasn't talked to him. That's so rude. So she does recognize it. He does the ritual, and he says, "Hey, what did I say?"
Okay. So she watches you do the ritual, right? And she says, "Last night you spoke in a voice that wasn't yours. A voice I've heard only once before. It belongs to something deep in the depths. Something dark. I don't know how it got hold of you, but it frightens me, Bruce."
Deep, you say?
Real deep.
How deep? How deep is it? Could I get an exact measurement on deep, please? On the depth?
She says, "The place where Moakuali comes. The god. From the dark. A place we don't go to. The place where..." And she sort of like gestures downward. She said, "The place where your kin went." I guess not knowing that you're not actually related to any of those people.
My dad? Dad? Dad, where?
Yeah.
My dad's here? I thought he died. We gotta go, guys.
She says, "Wait. I'm frightened, Bruce. This opponent it's very dangerous."
With that, Bruce looks at her and says, "Maybe we should just leave, I don't know." Does she understand him?
Who? Ashta?
Yeah.
Oh shit, she doesn't understand you.
Yeah.
You can understand her.
Almost tricked you.
God. Okay. For the sake of this, I'm going to say that with pantomiming, you managed to get that across. Jesus. Okay.
Dad? How do you pantomime dad? Like, Dad?
Little Bruce and Big Bruce.
Dad!
My father?
It's like a Russian doll. It's just like...
No, I forgot. Comprehend languages doesn't have tongues built into it.
If only.
Yeah, unfortunately.
It's only self, too. Believe
You'll
me.
get there. If you follow Bard.
Why would I do that? No.
Right?
Bards are underrated.
No, I thought about getting Jack of all trades. It doesn't matter.
All right. So, we are going to say that she communicated the thing you said was the voice of a creature from the deep, dark depths. Something that they knew about, but they didn't fuck with.
Okay.
And it freaked her out to hear you speak in its voice because she's heard its voice, but not for a very, very long time.
So what are Buttercup and Victor doing right now?
What
are you
Buttercup's doing, she's awake, and she of course dressed herself and everything, but she went immediately and got some fresh fish for Wyola and Ashta. So she's cutting up some of the pieces to be easier for Wyola to eat, and is just sitting there with a bucket and like offering the fish when she can, giving Wyola the small pieces of meat, so that way she can eat.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah, she will absolutely try to eat that food, but it's slow going for sure, given the massive wounds to her stomach and waist.
Yeah, that's why Buttercup is making small like bite-sized pieces. So
Bruce.
that way, if she pushes like her hand away, she knows that that's how much that Wyola could take at that point in time. Just trying to get some nutrition in her.
So Bruce, seeing this, goes over to the fish and he takes a bite of it, raw, and he kind of like chews on it for a second, and
It's
then
smoked fish.
oh, is it okay? So he like
Yeah, it's smoked. It's dried smoked fish.
like chews it up, and then this is Oster, right?
It's why.
Wyola.
Wait.
So
Yeah, Lyle is the one she's feeding.
so he eats the piece of fish and kind of chews it up, and then like kind of goes like, uh, like offering like a baby bird, like I see. I see you have a lot of.
You're trying to baby bird.
I got some fish.
Like,
You want some,
like,
you want some
oh,
fish?
she eats it. She's like, yeah, it's good. Maybe not. She doesn't want to eat it out of your mouth. That's
Yeah. He looks at Asha. He looks at Asha and offers her.
Oh, no, thank you. No, thank you.
I am gonna use another healing on Wyola. So that's gonna be that 7.
Okay. Wow. All right. So you're cranking out another one of your potions.
Yeah. Basically,
Okay.
since her wounds haven't finished healing, I'm just trying to make sure, like, get her back up there.
Okay. She is mostly healed
Cool.
at this point. But again, both of them are now like, holy fuck, like, we're in danger. So we don't want to go anywhere near those gray things.
Can I make an insight check as to I just realized I didn't do that at the time, as to what language he may have been speaking last night? I know I didn't do it at the time. I just thought about that right now. Especially the way they refer to it being something from the deep dark. I'm wondering basically if I could understand.
It was deep speech.
Yeah,
It was deep speech.
that's what I was thinking. So if I had been in Caesarthic form, then I would have understood that. But
Perhaps, yeah.
Cool. No, that's all I was getting at.
Cool. Yeah, I would say you're familiar enough that you recognize it as deep speech.
From when I was human. Okay. Cool. So I'm gonna DM rolling on this. Would I be able to change into Caesarthic to puzzle out what was said with my memory, or no? Because one part of my brain doesn't remember.
Roll me a flat wisdom check.
Flat
Let's test that memory of yours. You heard this
Sure.
one time.
Sure.
See what
That
the dice gods tell us.
That makes sense. No!
It was an excellent thought.
Damn it!
It's a good try.
Oh God!
That's
There
the
goes
worst inspiration roll I've had.
Does an 8 do it?
With a whopping 8.
What does an 8 get on?
You know it's deep speech.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Ooh.
I guess go ahead.
Would someone else be able to repeat the words to me if I was in Caesarthic?
Would Asha
because
be able to because she understood it?
Yeah.
But you have to ask her, and
if you could
can't.
ask her, but I don't know how you guys would manage that.
Okay.
Like if I hadn't had forgotten that comprehend languages was only one way, I don't even know that Bruce would have gotten that far.
Oh, I wouldn't have.
I understand.
But it's canon.
Yeah, it is.
It's kind of they have a connection. They just
Yeah, it's
know
that-
they
just
get
get
each
each
other.
other.
Oh, absolutely.
All right. So I guess is the climbing gear finished?
Not quite yet.
No,
Two of them
not
are
quite yet.
finished.
Okay.
Two of them.
So I guess we could go back down there and try to stealth.
If two of them are finished, then I believe that I think you said I didn't even need to make myself one because of either Braxis or Cesar. I think I was able to basically ascend that thing mostly.
Oh, Braxis has a climb speed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
While she is feeding
I have two climbing kits for the other two. So I
Okay.
guess I'm technically done.
We
I
should
can
definitely
make
go to Norstead Point.
That's the thing you can do.
That is the thing you can do.
We should go finish off the place we were already at, probably.
Oh, the ship graveyard.
Probably so.
It's up to you guys.
We could actually go back. It's only been a day, and I did clear out the rest of the crazy snails.
Did he cheese
so
all of them?
I did cheese all of them. I
Nice,
made sure to
nice.
say I cheesed all of them.
Cool. Okay. Good work. Good work. Oof. Buttercup, are you on board?
well, at the moment she doesn't know that y'all are like planning this, so she's
We haven't even planned it yet.
yeah, y'all haven't even it hasn't even been discussed yet. So
It hasn't been vocalized, yeah.
So she sets the fish down after Wyola seems to be done and Asja, and she knows that they're still scared. DM, do they have like normal strands of hair like we do, or no?
Yeah, I would say so. It's fine. It's extremely fine.
Fine as hell.
Fine as hell.
Okay, so what she does is she's taking turns to, like gently brush their hair, get any sort of tangles out, but is moving very slowly and trying to comfort them in her own way because she doesn't know how to.
I want to say, and help me on this because I've never really had long hair.
What's
I
up?
want to say it's kind of unusual for them to get knots in their hair because they're used to being underwater.
Oh
Is that a
no,
thing?
I've had
Can you
hair
get
like
knots underwater?
past my butt, and my hair got knotted when I was swimming.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
No,
Like when
hair
you
gets
got out or while you were like submerged.
hair gets knotted like super easy. You don't even have to try, and your hair will get tangles and knotted up.
Hair?
Okay,
Basically, like brushing it out is the best thing you can do. You have to basically brushing your hair every day is the best thing you can do.
What is hair?
What?
What is? I don't know. It's been so long. So should
It's,
we? Hey guys, I think we need to go back. We gotta see what's up with that place.
Look at that glorious mane.
My weird fish girlfriend said we were pretty close to their city or something. So maybe we should go check it out. I don't know. I might have flashbacks.
And that city was called Allumea.
We gotta go to Oliveira, guys.
To Oliveira, Mr. Fantana.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys are headed that way. Are you trying to take the Murph?
Fuck no! No, but before we leave, Bruce is gonna look over at Buttercup and say, hey Buttercup, maybe we can get some of those weird fish people to come help them out and keep them safe just in case those dudes come back.
She nods her head, of course, and stops because she had already done Asha's hair, so she's working on Wyola's right now. But she puts the brush down and closes her eyes and starts focusing so that way she can summon a couple of marrow in there to keep the lady safe. And then picks
Okay.
up the brush and finishes brushing Lyola's hair.
We may want to. I think they're safe in here. We may want to keep the merfolk with us.
No.
No?
They almost died. They're not hardy.
No, not them. I mean her summoned merfolk. Like the one she just discharged.
Oh.
A marrow. That's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Marrow. Yeah.
I mean, we can just get a bunch, right? We can just get an army of marrow. That's not
The
game.
only one who has the ability to summon marrow right now is Buttercup.
Yeah. So basically, she could summon one, and like we could have it with us, only because it can kind of speak for us. But I guess, speak for us weirdly. It's a weird thing.
You
I
can
don't know.
speak deep speech. It can speak Aquan, and Bruce can understand everybody.
Yeah. So we may want to bring the
That's a
marrow
pretty
with
good
us,
idea.
just so it can speak
Let's do
Aquan.
it.
I can speak deep speech, and you can understand.
DM question.
Sure.
Okay, so I think the Miro coming with them is a good idea. However, I also do believe that the ladies need protection. Would Buttercup be able to summon protection for the ladies and then summon more marrow when they are out? Or no?
Out like in the water, outside the ice, because
I-
they're protected within the ice as far as you all can see.
Yeah.
You still don't understand why, but it does not seem that the Pale Invaders can move past the ice.
Sweet. Yeah, so they're safe in here already. We know that they're safe, simply because they've been the Pale Invaders haven't been able to pass through the ice like we have.
Well, it's more for their comfort than it is for.
I
they're scared.
get that.
I mean, it's just, two girls. They need like some male energy, I feel like, while we're gone. They need somebody to like make a mess and like smell
Perhaps
weird.
Need some time amongst themselves to simply speak and process what has happened over the last few days. I believe we should attempt to initiate contact with them and go to the deep.
Okay, but are we gonna?
Rescue
Where no
well.
man has ever gone before.
I really do. I really do want there to be like one bodyguard though. I can't lose something else, guys. And that's my weird fish girlfriend. And she might have the next Fantana.
I believe
We still haven't decided. We're not really sure, but like she might.
I believe with her magic, she has protected herself. We've already risked them plenty by taking them with us the last time. I believe we should go just us.
I don't know. Our DM clearly doesn't want us to have these girls, so.
It's not me, dude. There's a reason for it.
Yeah,
There's a reason for it. Y'all haven't figured it out.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
I
Well,
mean,
They're-
out of character, I think I figured it out. That
they're
kind of
definitely gonna die when we leave them here, but that's okay, guys. It's fine. I'll find another 10.
I
5.
don't
Find another 10.
She is actually.
She's a
if they're
person.
down there. She's protected.
Her name is Ashta.
Her name is Asha.
Okay.
Previously, the Pale Invaders has come in. We know that the Pale Invaders can't pass through the ice.
But what about the people? That's the thing, guys. Those people kind of looked weirded out. What if they try to do something? What if they try to touch my weird fish girlfriend? I'm sorry, her name's Ashta.
Now, that's another thing. I think there's only 3 people, aside from yourselves, that can move out of the ice. And y'all still don't know why that is.
Marcus, it's Marcus.
Marcus, Randall, and Jocelyn. Randall and Jocelyn.
We gotta kill him. Let's kill him, guys.
Kill him.
Something's fishy.
Oh my god.
Maybe that would be the bucket that Miss Buttercup is holding right now.
Very astute, Doctor.
All right, fuck it, let's just go.
All right.
All right. Before we go, why don't we take a quick break, guys? What do you think about that?
That sounds like a good idea.
All right, excellent.
Quick break. Oh shit. Should I take a shot?
Yeah, I'm gonna take a shot.
Yeah.
And you know what, guys? We hope you take a shot as well. Thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. And we'll
Take a
be
shot.
right back.
Welcome back, everybody, to Norstead Point. We are about to go outside the cave for the first time this session. And it's been wonderful. So far, we've had our wonderful Bruce pass out, his eyeballs roll into his head, and speak a bunch of gibberish that was frightening to one of our merfolk ladies. Because it apparently was in the voice of a creature from the deep depths that they recognize but have not fucked with for a very, very, very long time.
How deep?
So deep. How deep is it? I couldn't help it. Right? Anyway. Don't look at me like that.
Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back, everyone.
So, if I'm not mistaken, Victor now has 2 pieces of climbing gear, and in his Braxis form actually has a climb speed that he can do something with. If you like, you can all go to Norstead Point now and attempt to ascend it. However, you also have the ship graveyard, which you guys had begun to move through. And you had sort of moved towards the center where it seemed like most of the ships were like concentrated, which sort of implies that like they were all dragged down to a kind of similar spot.
Yeah.
What would you all like to do?
Would you like to go back to the ship graveyard, especially after I cheesed all those snails?
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's go.
Sure, we'll just have more sharks to torpedo themselves at us.
Yay!
Good.
Okay.
So, yeah,
all right.
I'm gonna go ahead and change into Sizarthic form before we go into the water.
Okay, that's no problem at all. So, you go ahead and change into Zizarthic form. I'm gonna move everyone outside here.
Real quick, Hunter, are you still drinking beer? Are you still drinking that Lone Star?
I'm almost dead. I found this Lone Star Light. I didn't even know Lone Star made like beer.
What?
I got red and blue, I guess.
Every now and then I see it at a gas station and I'm like, oh, that's healthier than... No, I'm not. I'm just going to get the normal Lone Star.
I for real want to try that Lone Star Peach Kolsch that they just made. I've heard good things.
Interesting.
They made a Peach Kolsch. It sounds awesome, and I would love to try it. Yes, Lone Star is indeed a Texas beer, Jazzman.
Yep.
So, Bruce, Sizarthic, and Buttercup all step outside. I'm going to move you guys down to this part of the screen here.
Ooh.
And as you do, you see a large number of shapes sort of jump off the ice into the water and sort of swim away around the water.
I am going to go... so I'm in Sizarthic. I'm going to go ahead and... Wow, my HP is not correct. I'm going to jump into the water. I'm going to go pass through the ice and go ahead and jump into the water as well, so that I can try and communicate.
You're trying to communicate?
Yeah.
Okay. They are very fast as they descend rapidly towards the abyss. What would you like to try and communicate as you do this?
Yo, homie, what's up?
Right? Yeah.
Hey,
what up, Doc?
Hey.
Hey, yo. Hey, girl, let me get them numbers. Sorry. Hey, yo, what your digits is? No, so I'm gonna go, basically as I dive into the water, I will be communicating in deep speech.
What do you
I guess
communicate?
mentally to them.
You don't have to speak German if you don't want to.
You're getting it in German? I have a deep speech translator, bro.
Fucking go for it, dude, if you want to do like the inhalation thing.
Yeah, I didn't realize German was a language in 5th edition.
Technically not.
It is for the deep, dark depths, man.
I mean, I know Common and Celestial. I don't know German.
Celestial will get you farther. What would you like to communicate, Sir Cesarthic?
I basically, I'm trying to communicate that we wish to follow them and and speak with their leader.
Okay. Okay. So you are communicating that you wish to speak to their leader.
I actually even have the deep speech too. Yay!
I will keep in mind that you tell them directly, like, we want to speak some more. Okay. But
no one comes back up. None of them come back up.
no one comes back up, but I will say that they definitely heard you communicate a desire to speak with them some more.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Implying that you've already spoken with their leader once. And what can I...
We have, yeah.
We come in
What else?
peace.
What else would you like?
We're gonna
You
go
guys
ahead and make our way to the ship graveyard, I guess, from here. Since I saw this pale figure just jump off and go.
Okay, so once again, you all descend.
Honestly, Jazzman, we've been like murdering them every time we come across them because they keep trying to snatch us. And I told them we ain't gonna put up with that. So
No snatchies.
no snatchies.
They try
No
to
grabby grabby.
They try to take my weird fish girlfriend.
Okay, at this point, I believe the map is completely revealed at this point. You guys know where the center of the ship graveyard is. I'm not going to make you guys wander through this whole thing to figure out where it is again.
Okay.
So it's been a day since you filled the waters with blood and the scent of death. As you return to this area, you find it crawling with these crab monsters. Where would y'all like to be? Just ping on the map where you want to descend, and I'll put your characters there.
Since I'm probably going to be the scout, like, swimming down, since I have a swim speed, would I be able to kind of, would I be able to attack any of these monsters from afar, or are they basically just feasting on these remains at this point?
I mean, they're feasting on these remains. Some of them are taking shelter within the shells that they've basically eaten.
Yeah.
I want to go right here.
Who are you trying to attack?
Basically I'm wondering if I can attack some of these crabs from afar, but I don't know if I want to.
Okay, real quick, just ping me where you want to be. I can put you on the map, and we can just say, for the sake of this, you're like 30 feet up. There? Okay, you got it. So we're gonna put Bruce, Buttercup, and Zarthic, whose health is not correct. I can update that later.
I think I just already did. Oh no, I didn't. Let me do that right now.
Well, it doesn't update the token, the journal.
Let me fix it real fast.
I don't know that you can do that. I have to assign a new default token to this journal entry, if that makes sense. How much health does Zarthic have?
39.
Is that like 2 levels? God damn.
Yeah, that went from 26 to 39. So 30 HP between 2 levels. But yeah, actually, I just adjusted my max HP in on my character sheet.
No sweat. So you guys are here, just for the sake of that, and you are trying to attack these Chul.
Well, can I guess, do you guys want, how do you want to approach this,
Let's sneak through all of it.
I think the Chul separately we can pick off, and I don't think these things are like the shell things. Personally. but I can also swim outside of the bubble and fly and swim over top of all of them and fire at
Mhm.
them from above.
So the moment Bruce starts swimming into the water, he sees these pictures play in his mind, and one of them is Ashta screaming with pain, and another one is Buttercup tumbling through a bunch of creatures and administering this potion, and then tumbling away, and another one is Wyla,
Viola?
Wyola. Um, Another one is her just like pulling Bruce and taking this punishment, and he's just like little movie pictures in his brain as he's swimming down, and he starts to clam up a little bit.
Okay.
So are y'all going to activate your air bubble for underwater?
I mean, once they get low enough, I assume so. It's going to be hard for them to swim like too deep before they start running out of breath.
Yeah.
Right around the time Victor thinks of that, Bruce thinks, "What's the point? Maybe I should just drown right here.
Dark. Dark.
Maybe the world doesn't need Bruce Fantana after all."
The world needs Bruce Fantana.
Once she gets down low enough, Buttercup tasks the air bubble thing.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
So you guys drop to ground level here. Bruce, are you
Yeah.
dropping to ground
Yeah,
level
like, for
on this
real.
coral?
No, Bruce is gonna be right here.
Okay, the coral's sharp
On-
as fuck. I'm just
yeah.
throwing that out there.
I didn't put me there. I didn't put that token there at all.
That's fine. So you guys are here.
Yeah.
So we can see these couple chul ahead of us, right? That are right there.
Easily. You saw them on your way down.
All right.
They're just passively picking at these shells and kind of eating off.
We honestly should may be able to just swim past all of them, and they probably, since they have easy food here, we can check things out as we go.
Sure.
I'm gonna swim outside of the bubble above their heads and kind of scout a little farther over there. Like I'm
Super easy. Super easy, Cesarthic. As you swim over them, you see they're just like kind of eating these shells. All of them are not the shells per se, but they're like picking the flesh off the inside of the shells. And you can easily swim right over them.
They don't even seem to acknowledge my existence as I do so. They're just
Not really. They're
Okay.
not ranged creatures.
Yeah.
They're just like busy. Some of them see you.
yeah.
They don't do anything about it, because you're not that close to them. I assume you're like at least 30 feet off ground level, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. Just swim right over.
I'm gonna go see if I can find the most remote ones, which I would assume is like this chul over off to the side over here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go ahead and take a shot at it from above
Mm-hmm.
and see what it does.
Okay, go ahead and roll me an attack roll.
Okay.
Jesus. All right, so with a whopping 8 damage, right?
Yeah.
Let me see. Which one was it? It was this one here?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's going to take 8 damage as a spine sort of torpedoes through the water and like rams itself into its hard shell.
Mhm.
And kind of looking up at you, it's going to like stop what it's doing and like posture its claws upward. And it is going to sort of like scramble over into this coral over here and take cover.
Okay. Basically, I was wondering if it was going to swim at me or not. And now that I know
Nope.
it's not,
Not safe to swim at you.
okay, cool. I'm going to come back this way towards Bruce and Buttercup, and I'm gonna start peppering some of these, see if I can't get them to get out of our way and hide as we make a path.
You're gonna start peppering these.
Like from above, yes. I'm gonna pepper this one close by.
All right, so they are going to sort of dart under these boats out of sight. And this one's going to sort of dart into the shell, and they're going to hide.
All right. I'm kind of in the water ahead of them. I kind of turn towards Bruce and Buttercup and motion them forward with like a finger held up to indicate silence, and just kind of swim along and basically keep doing the same thing, heading towards this large pile of boats over here. I'm gonna as I swim over a group, I kind of like take a couple shots at each one as I swim over.
With a flash,
Okay.
Bruce sees a pincer, and another flash, a pincer, and another pincer, and he's like,
You didn't see any pincers last time. It was all little.
there might have been pincers. I've seen a lot of pincers, okay?
It was all little flaily, clubby tentacle thingies. You should be worried about tentacles.
Bruce is going
But he likes tentacles.
Basically, you were almost the victim of a hentai scene last time. Okay.
That's true.
Are you guys going to attempt to like walk through here?
Yes, but stealthily. But half-ass stealthily. Half-ass stealth.
Half-ass stealth.
He's like, I guess.
Okay.
Who
Stealth
cares?
at disadvantage?
Who cares
Is that
if
what
they
that is?
see me? Yeah, I think so. Actually, he's just kind of
Sounds like I'm hearing willing disadvantage.
Yeah, he's just
Not
kinda
for
like,
me.
I guess.
Roll me stealth
I
at
guess
disadvantage,
so.
Bruce. And Buttercup, you can roll me.
I mean, his stealth is so good, I don't care if it's a disadvantage.
Is it really?
What?
It's a 26.
Jesus Christ.
I don't give a fuck if it's a disadvantage.
Oh, you're a bard. What the fuck? God. God. Okay.
Sure, it's great for the narrative. It's fine for the roll.
Okay. So with a 27 and a 22, I guess you fucking creep right on past. Wasn't
Seriously,
expecting
though,
that.
like Jesus.
I was.
Wasn't expecting that, but okay, that's extremely high. So as Cesarthic is like peppering these things, they're taking cover, not trying to engage, and you guys are sort of very quickly like sneaking past.
Yes, because
I want to
don't
say
wanna
sneak,
die.
but like, you guys are darting through here.
Yeah. I am a little concerned about this giant pile of ships right here, though.
So as you approach this giant pile of
Oh,
ships, it's
shit.
very clear that like you guys can very clearly see like these holes in these ships. But looking at this pile of like collapsed ships, they have very clearly sort of gathered here, and they're almost like many of them are kind of crushed inward as if sucked downward by something. You don't feel any current of water or anything dragging you downward.
Okay.
I'm gonna go in this dark hole by myself.
Yes, I think it's gonna come swim a little farther down and try and follow into if we're going towards these ships.
Bruce looks at the dark hole as a metaphor.
Metaphor.
I deserve this.
Oh my god.
All right, Bruce. You go right through that dark hole, and you step into the ship, getting what you deserve.
Buttercup pulls out her bow and arrow and has one notched and ready just in case.
Okay. As you enter these ships, Cesarthic, are you going with them?
Yes.
Okay. As you enter these ships, there is a very distinct lack of life. There's no coral. There's like not really any fish on the interior of the ship. There's no crabs. There's nothing inside it.
Lack of life, just like Bruce.
Just like Bruce's butt.
Is there anything in particular that piques my interest as far as items, or even like signs of what could have done this thing? Would that be like a check that I need to make?
Make me a history check.
Oh,
Okay.
shit. How do you feel
I'm-
about history, Eddie? Are you
I think
gonna?
this is the first history check of our campaign.
It's a milestone, everyone. We gotta click
Hey!
that. First, like, it's been like 10,
15, wow.
10 weeks or
Okay.
something.
Not bad.
Okay.
Considering
So-
it's not intro for me.
So here's what's interesting to you, Cesarthic. As you enter these ships, first off, you notice the very distinct lack of life.
Yeah.
You also notice the ship that you're in is very old, like at least like 50 to 70 years old.
Wow.
And as you're sort of like walking through here, taking a look, you see like the ship over here has got to be like at least 100 years old. And then like deep down in there, you find a ship that's like super fucking like built way, way before you were born, but it's just like been crushed to the bottom. And there's
Yeah.
not really any explanation as to why these ships are here in this place,
Okay.
but they're in a very trashed state.
But they're all, most of them are all gathered.
They're derelict, I should say.
Yeah, pretty much, Jazzman. It is indeed a D&D Bermuda Triangle.
This is
They're
true.
derelict. They're from different times. It seems like over the years, ships have gathered in this particular spot, which I will note is like at least like a 50-foot area.
When you say a different time, you mean the Roaring 20s, right?
The Roaring 20s.
No? Maybe
Welcome.
not? Great Gatsby, anyone? No?
Everyone
Okay,
get-
fine.
everyone get-
Nobody
You
Gatsby.
found this ship.
Going to drink in public.
You guys don't.
This
Gatsby.
far down into the ship. You found lots of ruin. What would you like to do?
I
Not die.
take a look around, see what I can find. I definitely want to take a look around. Honestly, I'm trying to find either items of importance or signs of what did this.
So Bruce is going to cast light on his pants. And
Okay,
he
so you
wants
can
he wants it to be a nice somber gray light, if that's possible.
Mm. Now, I would point out, like, the petrified merfolk that you guys had found are sort of along the ocean floor here. And as you guys descend through this ship, you don't find particular items because, like, much of these ships is, like, rotted away. I mean, you can find, like, trashed, like, old bottles and crap like that. If you want, add, like, old bottles to your inventory.
I don't want to.
You don't want to? Okay, that's
Yeah,
cool.
I'm gonna-
So,
Unless it has a particular
what?
wine in it.
I will take
What?
one old bottle.
take an old bottle. What you will all note as you move through these ships is that they seem to collapse downward. And as you move through the ship that you're currently in,
Yeah.
it sort of like crushes downward into what is eventually like a floor in the rock, in the coral.
Okay. Like, so there's
like a cave entrance inside these ships, and many of these ships are like crushed inward
towards that hole in the ground.
towards that hole in the ground. Yeah. Now, the thing is, it's not like a big hole in the ground. It's just like a cavern system, and these ships seem to be gathered here, and the wood is all busted like inward,
Yeah.
if that makes sense, as if pulled inward by something.
But we can see a clear entrance into something else, right?
Yeah, Jasmine. This definitely seems
As-
like Sarlacc.
As you descend into the ships, like you like go downstairs like into the bottom, yeah, you can see that like the wood beams are like collapsed inward like this, and there is like a cavern beneath.
Bruce takes his
Like-
bottle and he throws it at the wood.
Can Buttercup make an investigation check, just checking everything around what they see?
I'm trying to. Yeah. I would
Both
like-
of you guys make me actually everyone make me an investigation check as you're looking around.
Okay.
I'm not as confident about that as I am with my
That's a 23.
myself. Investigation's gonna be a 0. It's better.
That is.
It's better
that's a
than better than a negative, right?
I'm glad Jasmine's in chat. Wow, you saved that 100-year old bottle for a whole 30 seconds. I'm proud of you.
14. 14.
Cesarthic,
It's
you are
broken.
the only one.
That bottle's broken, just like Bruce Fantana. It's a euphemism and a metaphor.
So you guys are here.
Okay.
Cesarthic, you are the only one who spies a pale invader watching you before they dart quickly behind one of these ships
Okay.
out of sight.
Okay.
They're watching you guys enter this area.
All right.
At least one is.
Yeah. Arthur
Aside,
turns towards the other two. We are watched.
Bruce,
Buttercup's response looks up, like she just looks up. She's like, "Well, that's not creepy."
Bruce picks up a bottle and he kind of stares at it. All I gotta do is like break half of it, and I can. No. He just throws it at the ground. No. No.
all right.
That's when Buttercup
Okay.
smacks him upside the head.
So let me paint a picture for you guys. Basically, you are in this like crushed pile of ships. They're very clearly crushed downwards. There seems to be some sort of cave system below that like these sort of like collapse into. As you guys descend into these ships, Cesarthic notices that you're being watched by one of the pale invaders.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to
Buttercup puts her bow and arrow up, and what she does is she like walks to the walls and like is running her hand up and down them, seeing if she can find anything to indicate why everything is trying to move down. But very clearly, more of a curious thing. So if the pale invaders are there,
It's hard to say, Buttercup. There doesn't seem to be a clear reason why they're pulled downward in this way, but they are very clearly collapsed into this particular spot.
So
And there's a good number of boats here, by the way. As you guys are like moving through one of them, you're descending through other ships beneath this boat, which have all sort of like been gradually crushed downward into this cave system.
okay.
Lots of old knickknacks. The wood is highly saturated. It's probably been a very long time since like dry air has touched any of this wood.
All right, so after she notices that and she takes Cesarthic's words into consideration, what she does is she just goes over and sits on the floor again and just waits.
Okay. You sit on the soggy wood.
Yep,
It
and she just waits.
feels wet. You ever sat on something wet?
Well,
I hope you
yes,
haven't.
plenty of times.
Your butt
She
is
doesn't
going to
care.
begin to itch before too much longer.
And she hops right up real quick.
Some good DMing.
Doesn't feel good.
Termites?
No. It's just like that itchiness when you sit on wet stuff for a while.
yeah.
If you guys have done it, you know what I'm talking about.
I've
You'll
sat
feel-
in wet things all the time.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Every Tuesday.
Says pores.
So
Sits in wet stuff every Tuesday for some reason.
Bruce grabs a bottle. Can he see the pale invader? Probably not. He's definitely gonna like peek out and look.
Actually, Cesarthic never told you guys where it was. He just said you're being watched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Bruce is gonna go scan outside with his bottle.
Okay. You look around with another bottle that you picked up, because I'm pretty sure you threw the first one.
This is
Yeah.
my third bottle.
This is your third bottle? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bottle 3.
Chucking these bottles everywhere.
It's only history. It'll never come back. It's an antique. But whatever.
So what are you looking for, Bruce, as you step outside?
I'm looking.
You're trying to
I want to see
throw one of
who's.
these at the elevator?
I want to see who's looking at me.
Make me a perception check. Now you know what you're looking for.
Do I have advantage?
Why would you have advantage?
Because I got my headband.
Yes. Yes, you do.
16.
That's why I ask. Okay. Bruce. So Cesarthic saw this pale invader over here dart behind that. You are going to notice pale invaders here and here.
Ooh.
And they are very quickly going, as they see you sort of like looking that way, they're going to dart out of sight.
Okay.
Did you see those? Did you see those on your screen? I don't know if you.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
I'm going to kind of shout in a way to these pale invaders. Basically, I'm shouting at them to show themselves to us.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I'm saying out loud, I know you are here. Reveal yourselves.
Silence.
Silence? Nothing?
Silence.
Okay. So
But
as
you know they're watching you guys at this point.
okay, so as we
They
do
want to know
this,
what you're up to.
as we do this, and go into the ship, I'm. Do I see any other holes in the current ship we were in, or just the one that we were at?
No. So here's the thing: as you guys step into the ship, there is a very, like, as you descend to like the lower floors and such, the ships continue to like collapse inward, like into other ships, which continue to collapse downward.
Okay.
Which kind of makes a makeshift path deeper and deeper into the stone.
Bruce
So,
goes down
okay.
the path.
So as we go into the stone path, I'm going to briefly shift. While the bubble is here, I'm going to stop everybody. Shift briefly into Victor, and rig an alchemist fire as a trap on the entrance to the cave behind us.
My man. Okay, so you set up a trap.
Because alchemist fire burns underwater.
Okay. Interesting.
Ooh, Jazzman has an interesting point. Will that work underwater once the bubble leaves?
Alchemist fire apparently works underwater.
Ooh.
It's a weird. It's a napalm that basically is magical napalm. It's weird.
Weird napalm. That's what we're good for every Thursday night, right here. Twitch.tv/NerdJamTV.
All right.
Okay, we're done.
As you guys descend deeper into the ships, and Victor, you have left your trap here.
Yes.
You're going to enter a tunnel system, which very gradually like winds downward deeper and deeper. And very suddenly, as you guys are descending into these underground tunnels, it's going to open up into the top of a space.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
And you find yourselves in the middle of a beautiful, very intricately made artificial structure.
I will go
Ooh,
ahead
it's
and shift
pretty.
back to Cesarthic while we're here.
Yes, and you guys are coming through this top right here.
So, quick question. How long ago did Bruce do the ritual?
For real though,
The
this
comprehend languages ritual?
Yeah.
is, at this point,
That was last night, wasn't it?
no, that was this morning.
It was this morning, and then we immediately went outside, and then immediately went to the ship graveyard.
That's true.
It's up to you. Duration's an hour.
It's been pretty quick. You still got it going. What's up?
Okay, I'm just curious.
It's near the end. I'd say it's been about 45 minutes. I'll give you another 15 minutes or so.
Okay. Just want to establish.
That's 150 turns of more of that.
That's a lot of turns.
That is a lot of turns.
150 turns? Is that? Did you calculate that? That's really impressive.
Yes, that's 6 seconds per turn times 10 times 15, so 150 per turn. Yeah.
DMF.
I trust you.
So for my first 6 seconds, I marvel.
Okay.
Yes, Jazzman, that is true. Spells are measured in minutes and hours. The turn in Dungeons and Dragons, each turn is measured at 6 seconds specifically, as far as for effects and that kind of thing. It's a weird distinction.
Hey, Jazzman, if you want to learn more about Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, check out the Added Proficiency podcast at nerdjamtv.com.
Time slows down for combat.
Yeah,
That is true.
annihilation.
Okay, so you find yourselves in this beautifully intricate underwater structure, kind of descending through the roof. You're not sure what this is doing down here, but looking back up at the ceiling from whence you came, it appears that the top of this structure is long destroyed.
Can Buttercup roll a perception check to see if there's anything other than the pretty stuff around them at the moment?
You don't need a perception check, Buttercup. There's nothing around here. There's some fish, which sort of like absent-mindedly swim around.
Okay.
There are no signs of life. There's no coral. There's no... Well, okay. Everything around here is sort of grown out of coral. But it's not like there's like wildly growing coral. It's highly manicured, and it seems to have been this way.
Weird.
She looks around and then turns to her buddies, and she looks at them and she's like, "This is highly sophisticated. I see a hallway towards the back, and then there's this stairway down. Which way should we go?"
Let's go down this stairway.
Okay.
Do we go this way or this way?
Down.
Bruce said you guys are descending down the stairway.
I mean,
there is a main hall
we can do whatever you guys
that
want.
you guys are able to discern, which goes sort of forward and backwards from where you are.
Oh. So you guys want to do the hall?
Sure.
Okay.
I guess down.
Okay. You begin moving through the hall. And as you guys are moving through the hall, all three of you, even without like saying it to each other, kind of notice a sort of like intuitive sense of where you're going, and you can't quite explain how that is.
We're going to
But
Disney
there's
World.
something almost vaguely familiar about this area. And you don't know why, because you've never been here. But you continue moving through these halls.
Has Bruce dreamed of that hallway?
You have not dreamed of this hallway, Bruce. Every time you have dreamed of something underwater, it has been in like a deep dark, and you have dreamed of a figure singing to you.
How deep?
But didn't they once, whenever they first went down Finnegan's Bucket and they found Astra, did they not experience the history of the...
Very good. That is exactly correct, Buttercup. I mean, Savannah.
It's interchangeable.
I do that. I'm sorry. No. So, as you move through these halls, Buttercup, it occurs to you that you feel as if you've been here before. And while you can't put your finger on it at first, it occurs to you that this is knowledge you possess because of this interaction you had with Ashta, where she taught you the ways of like their order and like this underground society that they have. And as all three of you sort of instinctively move through these hallways, you find yourself in this big, beautiful room, which contains this glistening object in the center, which sort of like, vroom, vroom, it's like sort of pulsating with energy.
Would her necklace respond to it?
Ooh.
Necklace does not respond to it.
Okay.
How about if you summon summon one of your dudes for us right here?
Amara?
Yeah, that might help. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not
Um,
telling
Worth
you
a
what to say.
shot.
I
What
mean,
do you
yeah,
think,
you hadn't summoned
Matt?
one yet.
Can Bruce just walk up to it and like stare at it?
You can stare at it. You notice there are 4 large chairs here.
Well, for the do we notice anything similar about them in relation to? So we know there's 4 speakers as far as these merfolk go: Ashta, Wyola, and then 2 others.
They're
Do we?
priestesses.
Yeah, the priestesses. Sorry. Do we notice anything else? Do we notice anything near these chairs, rather, or these thrones? Or do I notice anything near them, like personal items or anything of that nature?
Roll me investigation check to notice a thing.
Absolutely.
All
Um,
three,
all of us?
Investigation.
all three of you have potential to notice this. Perception. I'm sorry. Investigation's really not the right skill for this.
Oh.
I'm good with
You're not
that after that
There we
roll.
Yeah, you did a little better with that one.
So
Bruce doesn't notice.
I rolled 2 ones.
But both Buttercup and Victor are going to notice this green orb up here looks identical to the necklace that Buttercup has.
Oh shit.
And I'm going to say that this large pulsating blue orb here, like all of you guys can feel like a sort of pressure emanating off it as it like vroom, 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 and kind of like pulsates.
Noticing this, she kind of walks up to this floating orb, staring at the chair that is very similar to like the gem with her necklace, and she has a thought. And she wants to reach out and lightly touch the orb. What
The
do I need
orb?
to roll? Yep.
The glowing shiny one.
Yeah.
You don't need to roll anything. You touch it, and as you touch it, it's like one of those like fancy science orbs with all the lightning in it, you know?
yeah,
And it's sort of like
Okay.
and a
It's,
small like arc of lightning kind of like touches your finger. It doesn't hurt. In fact, it feels warm. But there's like this like
an orb.
churning like bolt of lightning that's sort of just like making contact with your finger, and it doesn't take a whole lot of know-how to know there's a lot of energy packed into this thing.
Oh shit.
Does it seem like we could move this this orb from where it is seated right now?
Yeah, it's hovering above this place that it's in, but there's no reason that you couldn't just grab it and try and move it if you like.
Buttercup steps away, and then what she does is she goes to investigate the chair, and looks around the chair and like under that table thing to see if she can find anything.
Okay. Looking around the chairs, they are clearly beautifully, intricately created chairs. They seem to be made of the same kind of coral that is growing from everything else, except coral. Like, this isn't natural coral. It's like single colors, like it's highly organized. And yet, these chairs are just as alive as any other piece of coral here.
Okay.
All of this furniture is alive because it's made from coral.
Oh, how are we gonna let? I want to let them know about this. Like, I would like them to come with us at some point. The Wyola and Ashta, but I'm really worried about bringing them down here.
Yeah. Again, it's just sitting there like. Vroom,
Yeah.
vroom.
Bruce sits in a chair.
Can I go ahead and grab the orb, like, and try and lift it from where it's at? Can it be moved?
Sure.
Okay.
So as you sort of put both your hands towards it, it very like bolts of light sort of jump to your fingertips, but they're warm and they're almost kind of pleasant.
Yeah.
And as you kind of like reach for the orb and pick it up, like it's soft like jelly almost in your hands.
Okay.
I don't think you're ready for that jelly, Victor.
It's just crackling electricity.
Does it seem like I could do similarly to the previous orb and sink my finger into it?
It's not quite the same. So this is more like a hard
shell
orb. Like
okay.
So
the last one was like a jelly.
Not quite shell. The last one was like soft and gelatinous.
Yeah.
And
like
it was like liquid on the inside almost.
Yeah.
This one is a hard, solid object, but it's warm to the touch. It's not well, it's hard, so it's not soft.
Bruce walks up to the orb and casts Identify.
Oh.
Okay. Oh God!
I gave you so much time before I did it.
I knew this was coming.
You really did.
Bruce, here's what you find out.
Hey guys, don't worry, I got this. Whatever.
Let me see what
I just said on this
I purposely didn't take Identify.
I sat on this chair for a second. I just kind of watched you guys fuck around, and went up to it, and I was like, "Hey guys, don't worry, I got this."
And I cast Identify.
You learn its properties and how to use them.
Oh, perfect.
Whether it requires attunement to use, how many charges it has, if any spells are affecting the item, what they are, and if it was created by a spell. Oh, so you don't learn everything about it. You just learn these things.
Bards are really good guys, by the way.
Okay. This orb is a power source.
Ooh.
Okay.
And it's not just any power source. It's an extremely powerful power source capable of powering an entire city.
Oh shit.
However, from what you can tell, for reasons you don't... These spells are affecting the item. Fuck. Okay.
So
there is a spell affecting this item.
Okay.
And that spell is a mass petrification spell. Currently, there are a tremendous, there is an entire population of souls inside this orb.
Okay.
There is also a petrification spell affecting this orb. Bruce, you alone know that an entire population of merfolk is currently inside this orb.
Hey guys, there's an entire population of souls inside this orb, and there's like a petrification spell. Whatever, guys, I'm gonna go sit back down. I can't be here. I got a guy to kill. We're all gonna die down here. There's souls in there. Whatever, guys.
There are thousands of souls.
There's a bunch of souls swimming in a fishbowl down here in the water.
You all have come across many petrified bodies at this point, who seem to just be going about their business. What else does identify do? How many charges it has? Unlimited charges.
Bruce legit got fucked up in the head last game. He is not dealing with this well.
Remember when I did backflips and like hit on women and won contests doing key stuff? No. It's weird. I want to impregnate my fish girlfriend. I want to kill Paz. Shit's falling apart, guys.
Buttercup sits down on the chair associated with her necklace and just sighs, eyeing Bruce, but then turning her attention to the orb.
It does require attunement. We'll put that out there as well.
Oh, shit.
And
So,
she...
I have the orb in my hands.
by the way,
so
guys, it requires attunement.
And what she does is she reminds the gentleman, she's like, guys, don't you remember when we woke up Ashta? We saw the history of these people. And she's sitting in her chair, just, kind of like leaned forward on this desk. And she's all like, and think of all the things that we saw that were, all the people and children that were petrified. And you say that there's a lot of souls in there. What if those souls are the ones that are outside?
There's something else I want to point out. From where you guys are, you can see out. You all went through the ships and you went underground.
Yeah.
But from where you are, you can see outward, which is very strange considering that you should be underground. Stepping out and looking at like what else is out there, you're going to see something very familiar.
A city.
The cliffside city. And near the bottom of this city is a stairway which sort of leads downward into the dark, which you cannot see below you.
Wait, so by cliffside city, do you mean like Norstead Point, or like the previous Merfolk city that we...
I mean Allumea, the Merfolk city. Now, what's unusual, Cesarthic, about seeing these cities, or seeing this city, is that when you were descending through the water, you did not see this.
Okay.
You saw a coral reef.
Yeah.
But from where you're standing right now, looking around you, you see an entire city.
Okay.
And it's perfectly still and undisturbed.
I'm going to put the orb back where I got it from, because I don't... I'm kind of paranoid that I'm gonna kill a bunch of people if I take this with me.
Don't drop it.
You don't know.
Yeah. I mean, considering I was just told it contains a bunch of souls.
It's a bunch of souls.
Just a Demetric ass.
It is a whole lot of souls, guys.
With that, Buttercup looks between both the men. She's like, I honestly feel like we need to bring Viola and Ashta here. I think this is their home. My necklace, the gem in my necklace, matches the gem in the chair.
I agree. I feel that they would be we would be best served having them accompany us here.
Sure. You know what? We're surrounded by like weird pale invaders, and here's a sphere of souls. Yeah, let's just bring my weird fish girlfriend down here so that she can be around the soul orb and like this creepy town and all these people that want to like take her.
These are her people. These are the people that lived with her in the past, and this is her family. He kind of points at... he's just pointing at the orb the whole time. Like, This is her history. This is everything.
Yeah, so you know how like all those souls are in there? That's pretty fucked up, right? That's weird. Do you want me to be like, hey, weird fish girlfriend, there's your grandma in that sphere. Congratulations. Happy Sphere Day.
Buttercup kind of shrugs and looks at him. She's like, well, I bet it definitely gets you laid.
Buttercup, you're the best wingman Bruce Fantana's ever had. Oh, fuck, you might be right. Okay, Buttercup. In the best interest of making a baby Fantana, let's bring my weird fish girlfriend out of here, because I mean that is her grandpa and her grandma, and who knows? Gah, Buttercup.
That inner struggle.
Walks over
What a
and
good
pats his
friend.
shoulder, and once again offers a glass of booze. Here, have some whiskey.
Bruce drinks like a fish. How much is in there?
Enough for him. She packed it.
Okay.
Enough, Bruce.
Bruce buzzes.
Gets the job done.
Bruce gets a buzz.
Thanks, Buttercup.
Bruce gets the buzz.
God damn it, Buttercup. You're my best friend.
Bruce, you now have the poisoned condition.
What? I'm
You're drunk.
That's fine.
Oh, okay.
That's fine. You know what? Remember that time I was like, oh, I'll do sneak at disadvantage, and I got a 26? That's fine. I'm poisoned, okay. I'm Bruce.
Poisoned. You're alright. Perception checks just balance out now. You're
As long as it's not an investigation check, I'm fine.
As long as okay.
So we don't see any of the Pale Invaders from where we are here, right?
Not from where you are, no.
Okay. I mean, so, all right. I want to bring this orb with us, but I don't like. I want them to come here.
Buttercup looks over at Victor, telling that he's like, seeing that he's, in his own internal conflict, and she just shakes her head. Let's not. These are not our people. We need to bring the two down, and maybe they can help us figure out how to safely get every soul back to it.
The Rock meets Steve Austin meets Timothy Chalamet.
I mean, Bruce Poison is still pretty okay.
Yeah, I mean that's really not it
FYI.
for now until we get into combat.
Oh no.
All right, I guess. Yeah, we should try and escort Wayola and
Oh no.
Wash down here at some point.
Hunter looks way too pleased by this plan.
Right?
Damn, like, dude, I gotta have a fucking poker face now,
I feel
'cause
like-
this fucking camera right here.
I feel like me as a human being, as Matt Wallen, wants to roll an insight check on Hunter Cormier, our dungeon master.
Do whatever you want to do. I'm not here to stop you. I'm not here to encourage you. Just do what you want to do, and the story will move forward from there.
Oh dear.
I don't want to take this orb in case we basically accidentally kill every single
Don't
person.
kill my weird fish girlfriend's grandpa.
Okay.
Hunter.
So what are we doing?
Hunter's trying really. So Hunter is full poker facing right now.
He's trying.
This is half the
He's
game.
trying at least.
Half the
He's
game
like,
is trying to
"I
read
have
Hunter.
plans."
I gotta like map Mirth to this. Like, so what would you like to do?
How do you want to do this? Speaking of which, check out Critical Role. They are probably streaming right now, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Buttercup looks up to both the gentlemen. She's all like, how about this? I will stay down here and babysit the orb. And the both of y'all could go fetch the ladies.
Listen, Doc, didn't you say that she's safe where she was?
However, this is her home. This
Yeah.
is where she's from.
Listen, where are you from? Where's your home? You're not there, are you? Why?
No, I had to.
Because it's better not to fucking be there.
Because I was run out of town by a particularly tenacious paladin.
So listen, I've already seen like 3 or 4 of those dudes that want to take my girlfriend somewhere. And I feel
As
like
have
if we
I.
try to bring her to see this sphere, like, hey, weird fish girlfriend, here's a sphere with your grandma in it. Great. Aren't you excited? Also, you risked your life because all these dudes that have been trying to take you away for 1.5 sessions
There you go.
have been like hanging out outside.
And just hold it close and concentrate on it.
Our DM seemed way too happy about this plan.
What was that?
I said,
Dr.
I'm
Victor?
going to grab
Nothing.
the orb.
Nothing.
I said, I'm going to grab the orb with both hands, hold on to it, and concentrate on it.
Okay.
I'm trying to attune myself to this orb.
As your hands even get close to it, it's just lightning like cackles towards your fingertips, and you sort of just clutch it, you pick it up, and you just concentrate on it. You can feel its energy source there. It would take you about 30 minutes or so to like really attune yourself to this thing, but it's doable. You want to take it with you?
I want to take it with us.
Buttercup, are you cool with that?
She
that
kind of
what you want?
shuffles from side to side. And she's like, I really don't want to move it.
I feel like that's my girlfriend's grandma. You're trying to like move her around. What if she's like motion sick? What if she gets like motion sickness and you're like moving around this orb?
What if
I
it?
noticed
Everything
what if it turned
about
into
this.
a giant urn
Everything.
of dead things?
Yeah, everything about this is bad. Let's
Do
go
I
to
notice?
Let's go to Norstead Point.
Do
Is
I
it
notice anything happen as I move the orb around me? Do I notice anything happen to the city as I move the orb?
No, sir.
Okay. Yeah. It is in my possession, and apparently nothing, Jazzman. Nothing has happened just yet.
Safe.
Yeah, right. So yeah, I've got the orb in my possession, and yeah.
Wait, hold on. Are you just holding the orb like over where it currently is? Because that's what I was thinking. Is you were just holding it there?
I mean,
Are you trying to like take it
Move
with
it?
you?
Oh
Move it?
no!
yeah.
I will say,
This is Trap
as you
City.
begin to move it away, it's
Yeah.
going to like, and you're going to see that lightning sort of like reach towards the receptacle, like where it was sitting.
Okay.
But you can move it away easily enough.
Okay. That's what I was asking. Is do I notice anything around me as I'm moving the orb? Is anything happening?
Okay, yes. Then for the sake of that, what you will notice is that the orb is like sort of cackling lightning between it and the receptacle, and as you
Okay.
move away, it gets longer and longer and will eventually stop.
Okay. But no, I don't notice anything as far as our surroundings go when I move the orb. Is this basically what I'm
Like
thinking?
when he looks behind the window and stuff like that and sees the city out there.
Do I notice like anything change particularly, or like lights dimming, or anything of that nature? Do I need to make a check for that?
How do I ask this without revealing anything?
Poker face hunter.
Where are you holding this orb in
Up-
relation to the receptacle?
I mean, I'm like up here on the dais, I guess, facing towards the chairs, like looking outwards, kind of, but making like looking around as I'm moving the orb away.
I will say, whoa, that's not accurate. Once you get about like
Yeah.
20 feet away or so,
Okay.
you will notice the city lights flicker out,
Okay.
and
Alright.
like this coral city just goes dark.
All right. So as that happens, I'm going to very quickly put the orb back.
As you do, the lightning sort of like catches into that receptacle where it's sitting, and the
Yeah.
lights gradually flicker back on.
Okay.
It's a city that's
I
run
feel
on
that this-
souls.
I feel like this orb is the only thing that's been maintaining this city in the state that it's in. So,
City is perfectly still.
yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm
No
saying.
action coming out of this city right now.
What I'm getting at is that I feel like the only reason it has maintained the current level it is at over these thousands of years is because of this orb. Very true. Very true, Jazzman. Is the city worth keeping? Is the city worth keeping?
Let's go to Norstead Point.
Well, I mean, yeah, Norstead isn't there anymore, so you know. All right, I gotta make a choice.
Roll a die.
Yep. I dropped it on the floor. I'm a monster.
So what are you doing exactly?
I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. All
You're
right.
rolling it. Okay.
Yes, I'm rolling a die to figure out what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I'm gonna go, actually, I am gonna go ahead and take the orb, and we're gonna go, and I'm gonna try and leave the city with it, back the way we came.
You guys cool with that?
I would like to tuck it away in something as well.
Your
Okay.
pack.
Let me roll to see if I'm cool with that.
Okay.
Okay.
Bruce is not cool with that.
Alright, some inner party conflicts.
Hey!
Let's hear it. Let's hear it, boys. How y'all do this?
Hey, Doc. Why are you taking my girlfriend's grandma with you? I think that it's kind of disrespectful. It's not okay.
I plan to take this back to Wyola and Ashta so they can inform us a little bit better about this item.
That's perfectly fine. I'm totally sold on that idea. Let's do it.
Buttercup stands up and she puts her hands on the table, but she's like, "But wait, what if us removing it from this place completely destroys their home?"
Oh, fuck. She's gonna be really sad if we destroy her home.
That is something I have thought about, but I believe we stand in what amounts to a ghost town. No
Well,
one.
duh, you're holding a whole orb full of people like swimming around in there and screaming. I don't know what they're doing, honestly.
You don't know if
but,
they're screaming, but they're in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
They're in there.
Probably screaming.
She
No
is
doubt about that. They're in there.
she's being a little bit overdramatic.
Guys, I don't think we should touch things with souls in them. Probably, I don't know. Maybe it's a bad idea to touch things. Like, what if your soul was in there, Doc? Would you be okay with some other doctor just like, hey, let's just take this thing with us? No, you'd probably be weirded out, right? You're powering a city.
Absolutely. For the sake of scientific discovery, absolutely. Whatever preserves the greater good of humanity.
I don't
and
believe you, Doc. I think you're just doing.
Believe
I
it or
think you're
not.
just saying that because it's convenient. I think.
Believe it or not, I've done more for the survival of humanity than you ever will.
Or not.
Buttercup levels her gaze at Victor, and she's not trying to be confrontational or anything at all. And she's all like, "I have understand the work you have done. I have seen what you're able to do, and I have experienced it for myself. I acknowledge what you have done.
Feels dumb to take
But
the
we
soul
are-
orb. Let's
We
take the
are
soul
not
orb, I
talking
guess.
we're not talking about humanity at the moment. We're talking about these fish people. This is a whole other race, a whole other being."
God damn it, Buttercup gets it.
I do acknowledge that. However,
You're outvoted.
We've seen her people around the reef in pieces, in tatters.
Some of them,
Her
yes.
entire population seems to have been decimated by something. I plan to bring this to her to see if she can do something within the safety of her own force field or her own ice field that she seems to have erected, so that she needs not worry about being abducted by these pale creatures that seem to have a desire for her and Wyola.
Say, Doc, are you familiar with a game called Rock, Paper, Scissors?
Buttercup looks down for a moment and kind of chuckles at what Bruce is saying at the moment.
Clearly,
And,
Buttercup's familiar with Rock, Paper, Scissors.
And she looks up at Victor and she's like, okay, I understand your reasoning. There are some statues that were still whole. How about this? Y'all both go ahead. You take the orb with you. I will wait for a little while before I follow behind. And then I can give you an update more accurately of what has happened since it left. How is that?
Rock,
I would
Paper,
rather if not separate
Scissors.
as far as if some of us leave, I would rather not separate. I would rather not. I would rather you not be ambushed.
Paper, Scissors.
Roots.
I know it's not scientific, but I feel like this is the only way.
Okay.
Okay.
Are we playing on screen? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, we're doing it.
Okay.
Let's do it, guys.
We roll in the
What
what's
is-
that I'm sorry, that's World of Darkness. We're playing World of Darkness here for a second.
No, we're just
okay?
playing rock, paper, scissors. DM, count us off.
3, 2, 1, call it.
Okay, that was. I did
All
1,
right,
2, 3, go. You did 1, 2,
Okay.
go. I couldn't
You
even
did
see it on
round 3,
camera.
call it.
Round 2. Round
Oh,
2.
no, this is round 1.
Okay.
Yeah, I know,
Ready?
but that was like way delayed.
Yeah.
So,
3,
We're
Okay.
gonna go 1.
2, 1, call it.
Okay.
Okay. You gotta.
All right.
Okay.
3,
Aim on camera.
2, 1, call it.
Damn.
Okay.
There's one.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, call it.
Ha
Well played.
Damn.
We leave. Okay, Doc. Good game. GG. Me and Buttercup already outvoted you, but I just gave you that as like a formality because you've done a lot of cool shit, and you've really helped out my weird fish girlfriend and her weird fish girlfriend, but in like a different girlfriend sense. But yeah, I think we should leave my weird fish girlfriend's grandma's soul right here. Feels weird to like, depower a city and carry around a ball of souls.
Then
Okay.
do you plan on bringing your quote unquote girlfriend down here into the line of fire?
Fiance.
Thing?
I mean, baby mama. No,
Plan
friend.
on doing?
We're
You plan on
friends.
having her killed and bringing her into danger
No,
instead of having her investigate this item?
that feels like a really loaded question.
That's what I thought.
That's when Buttercup sits back and just stares at the two boys, and she's all like, I feel like I need a mug of beer while I am watching this go on.
What do you want to do, Buttercup?
Yeah.
While they're talking about this, like, what's your thoughts on this? I'm just curious.
All right, so I rolled a 1d20, as you can see on the screen right there, for
can see
her
that.
decision. And she is still strongly in the category of her staying there, or one of them staying there while they go do what they need to do, and she follows up behind them.
Okay.
But she may be persuaded.
It's whatever y'all want to do.
I don't feel like we should separate simply because if we're gonna escort this orb to Wyola and to Ashta, that we should all be together in case the Pale Invaders try to make a move on it. And we should keep it hidden. Like somehow we need to keep it hidden.
That's when she comes around the table and she's like, okay, we're gonna take it. From in her pack she has like an extra bag. Because that's, you know, what she typically wraps her rations in. And she's like, maybe this will hold it?
Sure.
Like, will it fit in one of our backpacks, basically?
Will the orb fit in a backpack? Yes.
Yeah.
it
Okay.
will.
Okay.
I
Cool.
thought we were
So we
taking
can-
the orb. Are we taking the orb? We had a very elaborate game of rock, paper, scissors.
We did, and then I asked you a very serious moral dilemma question.
What was the what was my answer to the question? I don't remember. That's
I was asking you if you were willing to risk Wyola and Ashta to bring them down here to
what did I
investigate.
say?
You just kind of.
That's not an answer at all.
Exactly.
Doesn't count as an answer. Me flummoxing? It's just.
I did. I posed this moral dilemma to you, and you didn't respond very well to
But
that.
we did rock, paper, scissors.
I
No.
know we did. Doesn't mean I respect the rock, paper, scissors.
Listen, guys, my in-laws are in that sphere, and let's just go somewhere else.
Let's also take a quick break, guys. And do you want to come back in like 5 minutes?
Yes, please.
Okay. We've been drinking. We need to go to the bathroom. Be right back, guys.
shit! Am I bringing us? Welcome back to North Said Void.
Welcome back to Door Said Point, brought to you by
Welcome back. Good to
NerdJamTV.com.
have you. Presented by NerdJam.com.
NewsFilmTV.com.
NerdJamTV.com.
It's close.
It's great to have everyone back. I've been drinking. My apologies.
We've all been
We
drinking.
couldn't tell at all.
We've all been drinking. We hope you guys are drinking. It's
I
2020.
can't drink.
Drink with us.
Y'all take a shot from me.
I just
How
took
about
I just
that?
took a shot.
I'm not taking a shot of your amaretto. That's not happening.
So, if I'm not mistaken, Buttercup is considering staying behind while you guys go get Wyola and Ashta, and you guys are considering just saying, like, fuck that, let's just bring the orb with us to the merfolk.
Absolutely.
What's Bruce, Dr. Mutare, and Buttercup considering?
Bruce wants to leave the orb. He doesn't.
Leave it behind?
Yeah, he thinks it's dangerous. I mean, not so much dangerous for him, but dangerous for like souls.
Victor wants Ashta and Viola to investigate this one way or another. So basically, that's why I posed the question if he's willing to risk Ashta to investigate this thing. If he's not, then I'm taking it.
But you lost at rock paper scissors.
Buttercup is all for
I mean,
staying.
I agree.
Buttercup is all for staying behind, and like she can watch the orb. She doesn't want the orb to leave, but she feels like her points are falling on deaf ears because the boys are being all like testosterone.
That is my
driven.
girlfriend's grandma in there. At least, at minimum. Might be my in-laws. Might be her grandpa. Might be two grandmas. Might be two grandpas.
I will throw this out there. The Timeless Daughters in particular are young, but they sort of move through time, so they're super fucking old, and they may or may not have relatives, but if those relatives are in those orbs, they're probably way younger than
Right.
the Timeless Daughters are, which is why they're called Timeless Daughters.
Multiple generations past.
Oh, dude, so many generations.
Like dozens of generations
Gilf.
beyond they were born, basically.
They
is what we're getting at.
spend all their time in stone, petrified.
Like that, hundreds of years at a time is what it seems like.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, hundreds of years in total.
yeah. I guess you're right.
Okay.
Y'all aren't quite sure how often they're
Brought
brought
up.
out of.
So, Victor wants to take the orb with him?
I want to take the orb up to basically. I want Ashta and Viola to see the orb and tell us what they think and or know about it.
All right. Let's do it.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and
Well, hold on, Buttercup. Are you cool with that too? Because that's not what you were planning.
That's not what I was planning on either.
Buttercup is, she understands that Victor doesn't want to be separated from anyone, and she respects that. But she has made it, again, very known that she is displeased with this decision. She feels like her points are falling on deaf ears, and so she's just going to pull back a lot from them. She's used to being alone. So when she feels like she starts getting ignored and everything like that, that's kind of like a switch for her to start kind of withdrawing a little bit.
Okay. So, you guys see that Buttercup is withdrawing a little bit as Victor and Bruce are kind of debating with one another, deciding what to do. Do y'all want Buttercup to stay behind and like guard this thing while y'all go grab the merfolk? Do y'all want to just bring it up there and see what happens if you remove it too far from this receptacle? Do you want to just leave and come back later?
I want to.
Point, I mean, I've already posed the question: is it if he's willing to bring Ashta and Wyola down here, and he doesn't seem to be willing to do that, so like they would know the most about this orb in particular.
I would know the most because I cast Identify.
Yeah, but you don't know what the orb is actually.
That's true.
For.
I,
You can cast Identify.
I
but
know.
you don't what the
I know
orb is
specifically
for.
what the orb is for,
You know
and
what
how
it
many
does.
charges it has per day.
You know what it does, but you don't know what they use it for.
It
Technically,
clearly powers the city.
At this,
that also, Jazzman has a good point. Identify didn't tell you if you could safely remove it.
Yeah, we
at
can't.
this point, she listens to what's being said, and she goes and gently touches Bruce on his shoulder, and she looks at him. She's like, I know how much you care about Ashta. I also know that you are very worried for her.
It's
But I
Ashta.
do agree that she needs. She giggles and she's like, "Thank you for the correction."
You're welcome.
And I understand your feelings for her are incredibly deep. However, in my mind,
how
it's
deep?
take the orb and potentially destroy what was once her home, or we take a risk and bring her down.
All of this is
So
a
that
bad
way-
idea.
What was that?
All of this is a bad idea. We should just go to Norstead Point. We should go somewhere else. Leave the soul orb with my fish girlfriend's like grandchildren or grandpa. I don't know at this point. We should just like leave this and we should go back and go somewhere else.
She looks at him and she's like, "But that is pushing back a problem instead of facing it. Will you forever make that decision?"
That forever's a really long commitment, Buttercup.
You have a
Bruce,
choice here.
I will say this because Identify specifically says you learn its properties and how to use them.
Okay.
If you use this orb to power a spell, it will like ultra charge that spell.
Oh shit, guys. So
Oh, question.
What's up?
All right. She has this necklace that can summon Marrow, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would she
You
be
can
able to summon a
supercharge.
Marrow and see if the Marrow can basically teleport the girls to them through the portal she calls them through?
You don't know because you don't have enough of an understanding of how your pendant works.
So she looks at the two gentlemen. She's like, "Hey, I have something I want to try before a decision is made. Do y'all trust me?"
I trust you, Buttercup. I'm in no position to argue with you because you saved my life and my fish girlfriend's life and her fish girlfriend in different sense, her life too.
She chuckles and looks at the
You
fish
get
and they're
carte
like,
blanche.
"Are you okay with me trying something before a decision is made on my part?"
Not really, but yes.
Like, do what you feel you need to do.
I mean, sort of, but go ahead and do what you're gonna do.
So she pulls out the necklace while she's sitting in the chair. She's staring at the orb, and she has never put more focus into this than she has before, and starts summoning a Marrow to see if it is possible to kind of like teleport the girls to them, and it is felt by her intentions.
Oh shit.
Okay.
DM.
Well, You do have to attune to this, which requires 30 minutes. If you're going to try and use this orb as a like source, like an energy source,
Yeah.
Mhm.
if you like, you can just straight up summon a marrow and see what happens.
I do it.
Okay. Let's put a marrow on the screen. Boop.
Hi, buddy.
Hey.
Baby.
Hey,
Hi,
Miro.
Kid Bud.
What's up?
Okay. This marrow is extremely confused, as are most marrow you summon, because they don't know why the three humans
Pretty much.
are like now in the middle of their city with no one else around, standing around this extremely important power source, summoning one of them using a pendant they shouldn't have.
Human variant.
So aren't you Bruce, don't you still have you have your comprehend languages up right now, technically?
It's
It hasn't been that long.
It's
Well, it's been.
personal
I'm
question.
gonna say it's been 15 minutes since like he
Okay.
began to venture down here.
Okay.
I've just lost my entire comprehend languages.
Wait a minute.
mean,
Isn't
one
something you
stuff.
already know how to speak Aquian?
Mm-mm.
no, he
No,
has
I don't-
to comprehend languages to do so.
I don't have.
Okay, okay. I was just
We've only
double
burned
checking.
a single slot. I don't know how much that actually even matters. I mean, it's a ritual. I don't know how much that actually matters.
Ritual doesn't. It basically casting as ritual doesn't expend the slot, right?
That's correct.
As rich.
But
Yeah.
you can cast it regularly if you would like to, and
So-
still have it for an hour.
I got spell slots. I can
Yeah.
I can do the ritual again, right? 10-minute ritual.
Yeah. No, there's no reason why you couldn't do the ritual.
Bruce Riches.
Yeah.
Bruce
Alright.
Riches.
Let's ask the marrow about the. Basically, ask the marrow about the orb if we can.
Smaro is very confused.
I kind of point to the orb, and I'm trying to figure out a way to.
So he's gonna ask you,
Yeah.
"Who are you? Why are you here? And how did you get that pendant?"
Buttercup sits on the floor next to him and holds out a hand to show her hands to show that she means no harm whatsoever. And looks up at him. We know she knows he doesn't understand English, but she's trying to put the intent behind it. We know of the Timeless Sisters. We know where two are. Is it possible with this necklace to bring them here safe?
It fully understands your intent.
Oh shit.
And kind of looking at you in surprise says, "Of course. Why couldn't you bring the Timeless daughters here safely?"
Oh shit.
There are several creatures, these pale monsters that
Has no idea what you're saying.
I draw a rough outline of a pale invader with where the eye, like little eyes are, on a piece of paper and kind of show it to him.
Has no idea what that is.
Bruce in the sand draws a 10 and says, "Hey,
Hey!
Guys, kill him.
kill my father."
She looks over to Victor and Bruce. She's like, I'm going to try and see if this mirror will help us go
We
to the cave where Astra and Wyola are
can
and teleport them directly here without any interference from all the people.
Bruce is gonna say, "Hey, we can totally climb Norstead Point. We got a marrow, that's cool and all. We don't have to touch the soul orb that's powering the city that my weirdfish girlfriend grew up in. We could just go to Norstead Point."
She then turns her attention to Victor. What are your thoughts?
we definitely need to determine the importance of this orb to the people. To
You sure
him,
did.
Arrow, and to Ashton Wyola.
V, you made a lot of climbing tools for me and Buttercup. Why?
She turns to the marrow and very gently like reaches out to touch the marrow. And she looks up at him and says, "I would like to teleport the timeless sisters here with your assistance."
Oh shit.
And like her intentions like laid clear. There is no ill will. She just wants them to get there safely.
Bruce blushes at the thought of Ashta showing up suddenly.
This Marrow understands, but he's just going to tell you, like, I don't have any means to bring them here other than them traveling here themselves.
So, all right, let's go ahead and let's keep the Marrow with us. We can try and we basically should bring Wyola and Ashta here, but we need to protect them from the Pale Invaders.
Yeah, so Bruce is definitely of the mindset. Remembering what Victor specifically said of, oh, we don't need Marrow to protect these girls. Hey, there's this ice spell that Ashta cast that like protects them. And
I said that they're protected inside the ice, not outside of it. I mentioned nothing about that.
this is very outside of it. So Bruce recalls all this and is like,
Hey, I can't lose somebody else. I've already lost Mr.
So-
Fantana.
So just so we're all on the same page,
Yeah.
you guys are wanting to go get the Mer ladies and bring them here?
no.
No?
Bruce.
So if we're not
Yeah.
doing that, then
Don't
I'm gonna
wanna
take
do
the orb. If they're not doing that, then I'm taking the orb.
we
One or
rock,
the other.
paper,
All right.
scissors.
So we've been
One
on
or
this
the
for
other.
like 45 minutes. What would y'all like to do with this?
If we
orb?
aren't,
I mean,
so if we aren't bringing the Mer ladies here, then I am taking the orb to them. One or the other.
How do y'all feel about that?
Bruce is super opposed. First off, Bruce won rock, paper, scissors.
Don't care. My entire goal is to
Sanctity
get
is
them
broken.
to see this orb. That is it. I asked you if you either were A, going to bring them here, or B, we were going to bring them there. I gave you two choices.
And I don't like either one.
Okay,
What would you like to do, Bruce?
you gonna attack me for taking the orb, or are you gonna bring Wyola and Ashta here?
He doesn't have to attack you. Y'all could just like come to a decision.
Yeah, no.
What would you like to do, Bruce?
Bruce is gonna say,
Hey,
What are your thoughts?
we played rock, paper, scissors. I don't want my girlfriend here. This is a spooky place. We've already seen like 3 or 4 of those guys that were trying to take her that can pass through the ice. You're the one who told me that they can't pass through the ice and my girlfriend's safe. That's also an orb full of souls.
That's
And
when
if-
Buttercup walks over to Bruce and she's like, "Look, I understand what you're saying, but there are only two options. And
If
the
you're
option that works the best for this situation is if they come here. I'm pretty sure the Marrow will follow us, which will give us extra backup."
I'm willing
Or
to do either, or you need to leave and not come back. Coward.
we could go to Norstead Point, because remember the time that Victor used his know-how and made us climbing gear. We could just leave this thing in
understand that,
place.
sir.
I
We-
made it for you. I'm
we-
not inclined to give it to you to further your goals at this moment, Bruce.
really? Bruce, whoa!
So
You haven't gotten the climbing gear from me. I still have it.
so hold on. Let me just like
So
make
you?
sure
Oh,
we
let me make sure.
Go ahead.
Okay. No, go on. So, how do you feel about that, Bruce?
I beat you in rock, paper, scissors. First off.
I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, Bruce is not gonna let that sphere fucking sit there. He's weirded out about like the fact that it is the weird fish girlfriend's family, or it's literally powered. The city is powered by souls.
Okay, so we're all in agreement. You guys are all in agreement that y'all want Ashta and Wyola to be with the orb, right? So y'all can figure out what the fuck is going on with the orb, right?
Correct.
Seems to not.
So the question is, do you bring the orb to them, or do you bring them to the orb, right?
Bring them
Seems
to the
willing
orb.
to do neither.
They're both.
That's
They're
we got
both.
basically the entire point of this is that Bruce is willing to do neither.
They're both
And-
bad decisions.
No, okay, so what do you propose instead?
We go to Norstead Point.
No.
You just do something completely different.
Yeah,
No.
we
It
do something
doesn't fit
completely
the
different.
situation at hand.
So
It does
Buttercup says we bring them here. Victor, what do you say?
Basically I don't care how Ashta and Wyola see the orb, but they are going to see the orb one way or the other.
Okay, so that's one vote for both. What would you like to do, Bruce?
I mean, okay, we got a ball of souls, and we got Fish Girlfriend, and Bruce doesn't want to risk either one. We leave this the way it is. We don't have to involve the Fish Girlfriend,
I
and we
will
go to
say
Dorset
this.
Point. We have all the shit we need.
You know that
No.
this orb, because you alone use the identify spell. Let me just throw this critical piece of information out there, because I guess I just didn't realize you needed this. You know that if you move it far enough away, it will no longer interact with the receptacle. However, it won't kill the orb. It just won't work with the receptacle anymore.
If we move that orb, it ruins the city. And the city, it needs that orb. We need.
That's when Buttercup turns to Bruce and she's like, "That's what we're trying to say to you." So
We'll escort Ashta and Wyola here.
That's a really bad idea. Because
You have nothing.
Hey, God.
You're suffering from trauma, and you're letting it affect your judgment.
that's when
we've
Buttercup gets in
seen.
between the both of them, and she's like, "Both of y'all need to stop sniping at one another. It's not about whose balls are bigger than whose, because frankly, mine are. But what it's about is trying to make sure that we make the right decision. And so far, Bruce, you cannot make a decision. You're being indecisive.
We can
That's not
literally.
helping.
No, listen.
So I'm
we
going
can
to have
leave
to
the orb
override
full
you.
of souls.
So at this point,
I'm going to have to override you and
Oh my God.
side with Victor while leaving the sphere here. I am confident as a team, because we have done this so many times together, that we will be more than able to protect.
So Bruce has already relayed to you
The
guys
ladies.
that if we move that ball of souls, it will not
At
power.
this point, you guys are going to notice a rather large group of pale invaders begin wandering through the hallway, as they have been exploring this tunnel system basically since you walked in through the door.
Buttercup
And it is
steps in front of her
been
marrow friend.
45 minutes of you guys trying to figure this out. And while
Yeah.
you're sitting here debating, it's about 1:30 in the morning, so we'll pick this up next time. You guys are now dealing with a rather large group of 11 pale invaders as they gradually move into the room, exploring this area.
Buttercup moves in front of her marrow, protective.
Okay. Okay. You move it. Oh shit. Let me put you in front there. That's very nice of you to defend your Mr. Meeseeks. /
You're
mirror.
my friend.
I'm gonna go ahead and change back into Cesarthic and start speaking. out loud to these in deep speech.
Okay.
Just
Bruce, what would you like to do?
Bruce, his mouth is agape, and he's just like he's awestruck because he's already won rock paper scissors with Victor, and now Victor is like, I don't care. Who cares about rock paper scissors? Remember that time we did that thing, and there was like math involved and stuff. It's fine. And Buttercup backed up Victor. Bruce is lost.
More
Okay.
so to be like to try to get him to make a decision because waffling is not doing.
Bruce
anything
made every
for
decision from the beginning, which was we're gonna leave that shit right there, and we're gonna go.
Bruce's decision
we're
was
not
to avoid all of this and
Yeah.
not deal with it.
Bruce's decision was to go to Norset Point, which we have access to. We can leave the thing that we know makes the city work, and we cannot bring the fish girlfriend and her friend that almost died last time. And clearly the Pale Invaders are hanging out, like just watching us. Hey,
Oh,
you're
they didn't have
bringing a
way in
priestess.
here until we
So
went
like,
here.
Bruce is pretty convinced that we need to leave all the shit here that makes the city work. Also, leave those people there that Bruce has already been convinced of are safe, and Bruce wants to go with somewhere else completely different. And one
Okay.
rock, paper, scissors to determine whether or not we're going to leave that shit right there.
Okay. Well, while you guys were debating this, a whole bunch of Pale Invaders showed up. You guys have a week to think about this. The last thing to happen before this session ends, because it's 1:33 in the morning. Cesarthic, what's your big statement?
I just looking around. What are you doing? What are you doing here?
You're
Trying to
inquiring
figure-
what you're doing.
Yes. I'm implying that they don't belong here.
They're all going to point at that orb.
Yep.
And they're like, that is what we've been looking for a very, very, very long time. And we will bring this session to a close right there.
Oh, shit. Good sesh, guys.
Good session,
Cliffhangers.
everyone. Okay, we will start off next session with combat or a good social situation, depending on what you guys want to do.
We'll roll for it. Jazzman, thank you so much for hanging out. Thanks, Eddie, for checking out chat so much. And thank you, Hunter, for putting this together. Thank you, Savannah, for playing with us. And we love you guys
all
so
of our
much.
viewers.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank
You guys
everyone.
are all awesome players, viewers alike. We love you all.
We got
Absolutely.
12 viewers right now. I see Dark Blaze, Dave Moon, Demon,
Dark
Feats. I
Blaze.
see Jazz. I see Maleen. I'm not saying the next two because they're really inappropriate. Next Evius. Help, I'm stuck. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us.
Yeah,
really appreciate
we absolutely appreciate it.
Inappropriate. I'm done.
Hey, if you guys want to learn more about Dungeons and Dragons in all forms, but mostly 5e, check out Hunter and Eddie. It's nerdjamtv.com. You can find the Ad Proficiency podcast. They're also available on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, all the big ones. Thank you so much, guys. We really appreciate you, and you all have a good night.
Love you guys. Thanks very much.
Later.
so much. Thank you.